That's real good.
That's the goal.
Real good. Greetings, Koopalings, and welcome back to PSVG in 2023. I'll be your host tonight, trying to corral this herd of cats, as we've got everybody from the PSVG network that can make it. As we're going to do our yearly wrap-up show. So before we begin, I have to just acknowledge that I apologize that we didn't get this show out earlier. The plan every year is to send this show out around Christmas, like we normally do, and we had it planned and scheduled and everything, and then I got sick, and I got like really sick. I was down. I didn't leave the bed for about a week. Actually, I was really sick, and I don't know about you guys. My Christmas vacation sucked. The whole family got sick. Like we all got sick, and we missed a lot of our plans. And my nieces and nephews that came, they got sick and had to go to the hospital, and like we could never reach. Yeah, and then we had this really bad cold snap in Atlanta. We had like $11 million in damages from water main breaks. So when I wasn't sick, I worked. And then today, my wife tested positive for COVID. So we're quarantining here at the house.
Again?
I am telling you, it has been a fucking mess of the last 3 weeks for my life. So that's why this show was delayed. And I'm sorry that it was. But we're going to do our best to give it to you tonight, and I think it's going to be fun. I redid it a little bit. We never like to try and do like the definitive game of the year, as Dev and I have always pushed for. We like to just talk about our favorite games that we're going to do. So this year we're going to do it. It's like a gaming yearbook. Is kind of how I'm going to do. You know, like every year when you're in class, you got your yearbooks, and everybody signed all your yearbooks, and kind of is the year that was. That's kind of what we're going to do. We're talking about our favorite games. And I've got some fun superlatives to go through. So we've got Dev and Delvin. Delvin is here against his own wishes. We've got Haley.
Very much so.
Rebecca's over here repping Shaq. And Sweet Hangs lives again with Sean Capri over from the Capri Network. What's up, man?
I'm here for your 40-minute review of Callisto Protocol, please. Absolutely epic.
I do not have notes, so it will definitely not be that long. Before we begin proper, anybody have anything they want to say? How was your vacation? How was your break from podcasting?
I have something that'll make Dev very happy. My PlayStation 5 is now in an upright position.
That makes me very happy. That's
Mine isn't.
I cleaned out the fans during like Christmas break, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it behind my television.
Oh, nice.
So
Good.
Okay.
Good. You're next, Sean.
Behind the TV is the option. That's very possible.
Let's
We can
do it.
stand it up
Stand
back
it
there.
up. Put it behind the TV. Make it happen.
I might actually put it outside, and it can kind of like heat the outside. You know,
Melt the
This
snow
cold-
in the
You know how
driveway.
cold it is up there. Yeah.
hey, if your PlayStation is getting hot, it needs to be moved from the spot that it's in, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's fine. Look,
No.
it plays Plants vs Zombies or whatever the heck is going on upstairs right now. Like it's fine. That thing it's no
Nice.
problem.
Nice.
Guys,
Plants
don't worry
vs.
about me.
Zombies, huh, Sean? Okay. Let's see how it is.
Wow.
Keep
Dev, how
talking
was your?
smack while your camera freezes up there.
That's
Dev.
true.
Look.
Yeah.
Look,
Dev's
I
got-
got nothing.
Dev's got the
nothing.
Delvin cam this week.
Mhm.
Apparently, I get all of Delvin's issues today. This is
I don't know what's
nonsense.
going on over there. That's interesting.
That's tough.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and begin the show. And the first thing I wanted to talk about before we even get into the games and stuff, how did you feel about the year overall? We'll go top to bottom, left to right. And so I'll start with you, Delvin. How'd you feel about 2022?
Oh, it was all right. You know, we've been talking about it the whole year, how I didn't really see too many games that I was like, that wowed me. But the ones that were great were pretty good. I know I'm probably in the minority of this, but I kind of thought it was kind of lackluster with a few notable releases that came out that stood out that we'll probably get into. But yeah.
Sure. I'll echo yours. I mean, I don't think it was the greatest year by any means. It wasn't one of my favorite years, but I do think I enjoyed a lot more games than I probably initially would, even if they didn't like put it over the top for me. So it was a good year.
Yeah,
Haley.
I'm in the same boat. Like it wasn't like the greatest year ever, but it was all right. Like there's a bunch of games that I enjoyed, and we'll talk about as we go through. And you know,
Nice. Sean. What do you think of the year, Sean?
Better than I'm glad that the Delvin got to go first because I was expecting someone to say something like that. I thought this year was loaded, and we're in for even more in 2023. I think there was tons of great games. Maybe if you just like stick with one, you would have like maybe seen it.
It's good to point out that Delvin did not definitively beat God of War.
Definitely not.
He definitely
Yeah.
did not.
Shocking everyone.
am-
Oh, that is correct.
Very deep
You
into it.
sorry sack of shit.
You can't be mad at me.
But game of the
I'm
year,
out here
guys.
living my life.
Game of the
Game of the year.
No,
Yeah, 5
no.
minutes in, game of the year. Hasn't
Still
finished.
is-
I'll be done
is
by
my game of the year,
Christmas.
by the way.
I'll be done by Christmas. It's not a problem.
Well, look,
Definitively.
Delvin was out here
Definitively.
doing things, big things.
He wasn't doing shit.
Delvin
Worldwide.
actually,
I'm not gonna say what I was doing.
Actually, to be fair, Delvin was out here recording an audio drama, so
Is that
No,
to be
wasn't what
fair?
I was doing.
I don't think that's
No,
to be
I
fair.
was- that's not what I was doing at all. I was out here. Never mind.
Definitively.
Not gonna say what I was doing. Never mind. I want to stay quiet. Fuck
He
that.
wasn't doing that the whole Christmas break, so I don't want to hear it.
How the fuck you know what I was doing the whole
Apparently
Christmas break?
Did we do anything?
I thought 2022 was a good year in gaming, even though my most anticipated releases were delayed into next year, this year. There was a lot for me to play from start to finish, from January to December. I really enjoyed what I played.
Nice. So the bottom row is the happy row. I also had a
Yeah.
great 2022 in video games. Had a lot to play. 2 amazing games in Horizon and God of War. A bunch of really
Spoilers.
fun little stuff with Sifu and Cult of the Lamb and just all
Stray?
kind of stuff. So I had a no. No.
This is going to be positivity. We're talking about the games that we loved.
Power
Yeah, so-
positivity.
I had a great 2022 as far as gaming is concerned. I'm looking to an equally loaded 2023.
Very nice. Okay, well, we have all, if you've done your notes correctly, we have all readied our 5 favorite games. You do not have to do them in any particular order if you don't want to. I will do mine from 5 to 1, but we will start and go around the clock. But let's go the opposite way. So, Dev, hit me with one of your favorite games this year.
All right, so we'll go. I'm gonna do the same thing. Five down to 1. So number 5 for me was a tough call. I kept going back and forth with 5 and 4, but 5 is Modern Warfare 2. I had a blast with that game. I really enjoyed the campaign. I really enjoyed the multiplayer while I played it. Call of Duty, the Modern Warfare series is always one of my favorites. There goes my camera again. I don't know what's going on. Doesn't really matter.
What
But-
Radio Shack ass camera do you have today?
I actually have the Elgato face cam, so It's actually a good camera.
Oh,
I just
do not
as
use
I
Elgato
inherited
products.
all
See,
of
yeah, I was about to
your
say
issues.
same to Rebecca.
I don't have any problems with them typically, but now
Yeah, we
that,
can see
I've
that.
inherited
Typically.
Delvin's
It's evident.
issues, this is the first
Nah.
time I get the.
I
Delvin
can pick
problem
now.
today.
Nah, son. You got here like a freeze frame.
Either way, yeah,
coming in
Modern
three
Turn to a
Warfare
frames a
is
motherfucking
second.
great.
statue.
It's okay, Devin. You look great in the freeze
Yeah.
frame.
I don't.
It's a great freeze at the moment.
Yeah.
Here's
yeah.
you, Dev.
So
There he is.
Modern Warfare 2, number 5, great game. Really enjoyed it. Had a blast with it.
Very solid. Doing shots. What are you, Rebecca?
So my number 5 is
Whiskey
going
hit
to
hard.
be.
Oh,
Can I go?
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'm sorry. My number 5 is going to be Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. So I will say right off the bat, it's not the most fantastic remaster in the world. I did have some issues with the remaster portion of it, but this was my first time playing Chrono Cross. For those who don't know, it is the second game in the Chrono series, the first being Chrono Trigger. This is really the only modern way to play Chrono Cross. It's a really special story. It is quite different from Chrono Trigger, but I really liked it. Very near and dear to my heart. Very memorable characters. There's like 40 different characters that you can recruit onto your team, so it's very replayable. But in addition, it has the Radical Dreamers side story to Chrono Trigger. This is like the first time you can ever really play it legitimately because it was originally only available on the Satellaview back when it came out in the 90s.
Jeez.
So this was really cool for me to play in 2022.
Nice. Very nice. Sean, is that on your list?
No, not
Oh,
even a little bit. No.
This was a big year for JRPG fans. I'm just saying.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I almost got through the tutorials of a few JRPGs this year. Just about.
That's solid. Respect.
Impressive.
I mean, that's like 40 hours long, so that's
Yeah.
impressive.
That's a lot of
Seriously,
gaming.
that was most of my
You've
time.
You've put more hours in the tutorial than Delvin has put into God of War.
Just about. Yeah, actually. Probably triple, actually.
Probably. Those some long ass tutorials.
Oh my gosh. I'm glad we're having this conversation now because it's been a couple weeks since I did this with Carpool Gaming, and I wouldn't have said there, but I'll say it here. And it's got to be at number 5 because I'm just going to cap it out here because it's a mobile game, and I'm petty like that. But Marvel Snap is legit, dude. Like it's
I'm glad
real
somebody
good.
brought it up.
Yep.
I've
and the
heard a
other
lot
thing
of good things about it.
I'm playing. Stop it, Dev.
No,
Just-
this is positivity.
Come
No,
on,
no,
man.
Rebecca's not
Rebecca,
having
it.
Rebecca, you knew what you were getting into when you agreed to come on
Hold
this
on.
show.
No.
So did
no.
I.
You think you're gonna have a positive
Positivity.
podcast with Devin, Tyus, and Donnie motherfucking Reese on it?
I'm here to
They
support
fooled
your
the
pick.
fuck out of you. That's not happening.
Marvel Snap, go games, yay!
I started wrong. It's not a mobile game. It's on Steam. It's totally on
It is
Steam.
on
I
Steam,
forget.
That's true.
Mhm.
That's true.
Played it on PC. Free game that I'm spending a lot of money on. Spending way too much time. Good God, TBR. No way.
Hold on, you do what?
Okay, okay.
You know what?
No, no.
Now I feel like I have to beat that game.
Hold on.
I think you kind of
Now
want
I
to
feel
do
that's a
that.
challenge.
For audio listeners, TPR in the chat just typed out, I will get my nips pierced if Delvin finishes Elden Ring by January 1st, 2024.
You have a year.
I hate that game, and I will do it now just so I can
Play
do this.
bare minimum.
Just
to hit
follow
the
a
credits,
walkthrough.
Delvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
There are people that beat that thing with DDR mats. I'm sure you can get
Yes,
through.
yes, there are.
If TPR says something like that to me, I would videotape like me burning a copy of that game, like deleting it off my system. Like, book your appointment, man. Go ahead. I got other things to play. That's awesome.
Marvel
Not
Snap
mad at
is good. It has taken over a big portion of the PSVG Discord. Basically, Board Video Games has just
It
been a
has?
Marvel Snap room for like a
Oh
month
yeah,
and a
if you
half.
have looked
That's
at
great.
all the video games,
Yeah.
it's all
Oh.
Marvel Snap.
Yep.
I
So
don't
I'm glad
exist
somebody
in
brought it up. Haley?
So I don't have mine numbered, but I'm gonna bring up Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Nice.
I I've always been into D&D, never played it, so a game like based around it in the Borderlands style, I really enjoyed it. As people well know, I ran into several bugs while playing, including having to play Chapter 4 25 times.
What?
Also, more times
Yeah,
than
I remember
Delvin
that.
Played God of War.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so like my game, like it would save my progress, but for some reason, it would keep setting me back to Chapter 4. So you beat Chapter 4, and then it goes, "Hey, you've done these quests before. Do you want to skip to the thing?" And then it would actually bring me back to where I was progressed in the game. Had to do that like 25 times. So
Sounds amazing.
That game was
Sounds
thrown in
great.
the trash immediately.
It did
Just
get
tossed in that
eventually, but I greatly enjoyed my time with it. It's just Borderlands, but D&D style.
It would have eventually been in the
I really
garbage.
enjoyed it.
Nice. My number 5, Sonic Frontiers. I definitely talked about it quite a bit on PSVG. So I don't need to go too depth in that. It's my favorite Sonic game of all time. Not that was a high bar to begin with. But I'm already through World 4. I started playing a little bit more over Christmas break, and I just really dig it. I love the platforming. I like the fast camera angles, and I think the game is fun when it kind of puts you on rails and bounces Sonic around. I think it gives you that Sonic feeling that I think people had when it was on the Genesis, where it was like even hard to keep up with the camera what was happening. This game does that, and I think the combat and stuff is fun and cool. So it's nice. I like the transition from Sonic to open world. I hope they do it again. Not that I think they should do all the Sonics, 3D, 2D, all that, but I would love to see a sequel to Sonic Frontiers. So my number 5.
Love to see a Sonic game with a camera that works and a targeting system that's
Ooh.
decent.
It was
Ooh.
very
That's a good tan
refreshing
targeting
to see a
system.
Sonic game that people liked.
Yeah. You remember how everybody hated it for like a year? And then it came out and every YouTuber was like, but it's good? It is good. I like it a lot. Delvin?
All right, my list is gonna surprise people because I beat every game on this list except one.
The number 1.
Yes, but it doesn't matter because that game's amazing. My number 5 is gonna be The Devil in Me.
Oh,
I
God.
think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think
Naughty, I have to say, how did you not expect
This feels like a troll.
How did you
I feel
not
like I'm being
expect
trolled.
this?
no.
I think it's a valid pick.
Yes, I like Supermassive games, and out of the 2 that came out this year, The Devil in Me is the superior one. It's a fun, kind of Saw-ish story, and I love Saw, so
Nice.
that immediately kind of pulled me into it. And my experience with it was great. I didn't have any bugs, no glitches. Fuck what everybody else had.
Fuck
That's y'all
everybody
problem.
else.
If y'all, I don't give a fuck if the game broke on you. Not my problem. I had no bugs, no glitches through the whole thing. It was a brisk. I think it was like I played like 6 hours. A brisk, cool ride, and I enjoyed the whole way through it. So I kind of prefer this one over the other game that came out this year. So this definitely made my list.
Nice.
Not my favorite. It's like I said, if this top 5 list, this is my like bottom 5. This is number 5.
Yeah, you put the
No
same
one
amount of
number one.
hours into it that you put in God of War. It's good.
No,
Of all the games that came out this year, that's what you pick for number 5.
Remember, he said this year wasn't that great.
Listen, he
Number
enjoyed
5.
it. He had
Yeah,
a fun
I mean,
experience.
He's sticking with this year not being great and not picking great.
I love
games
this
to start
Rebecca
off with.
energy.
I know.
It's this.
I will say this.
Leave
Dev
him
is gonna like my
alone.
number 4.
We're really gonna test this resolve.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
All right, reverse card. We're gonna do the same thing. Let's go back. Delvin, go again, and let's go back the other way.
My number 4, Shredder's Revenge. Teenage Mutant Ninja
Ooh,
Turtles.
All
good pick.
right, all right.
Freaking amazing.
You've redeemed yourself somewhat.
It is.
Just when I thought you couldn't get any lower.
I kind of felt like it's what I wanted from a sequel to those Ninja Turtle games from the arcade, and it's better. It's just so fun, so many secrets, and I kind of enjoyed playing it with my kids. It was
Nice.
a great time,
Period.
and a lot of replay value.
Thank you.
On Game Pass too.
Great
Good.
game.
This is.
I think I bought the collector's edition. That's how much I liked it.
This is
I
one.
played it on.
Good.
I played it on. I think I'm gonna say I played it on PS4, PS5, and I ended up buying the collector's edition on Switch because I liked it that much.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
This is one I've got a list of them, but this is one I didn't play. I have yet to play this game yet, so I'll play it at some point. But I just never got to
No,
it.
you won't. No, you won't.
I will. I like beat 'em ups.
It's gone. It's
I
gone.
just wasn't in the mood. My number 4 is Horizon Forbidden West. I definitely enjoyed it.
choice.
It was an epic saga, to conclude. But it has a lot of twisty turns. I think this game made me a bigger fan of Horizon than the first game did. So in that regard, I think it was a worthy sequel. And I'm really glad that I don't think I got into it, like 2 or 3 months after it came out. So by the time I got there, like the performance mode and everything was like all dolled up. So the game looked and ran great. And definitely, Horizon is Horizon. It's got great combat. It always has. And I enjoyed it. And I had a blast. It was fun time. You disagree, Sean?
I'm really disappointed so far, Donnie, because I like to think like you do such a
hate to
great
let you
job of
down.
reviewing. You're very much. I'm not
Hate to
angry. I'm
let
just
you down.
disappointed. 0 for 2 for me, man. But I might be on the outs on Horizon. I think
Maybe you're
everybody
0
else
for
does
2
that.
for me. I mean,
No,
that's how
Marvel
that is.
Snap. Why don't you give it a try? It's free.
No,
Perhaps.
Dottie is not going to touch
diverse
Marvel.
number of games for experience.
Rebecca,
Rebecca, you're the best.
My next game, again, mine aren't numbered or in any order. Also Horizon. I really enjoyed it. I love Aloy. I love the characters that she interacts with. I love how she's just like a no nonsense person.
Boring. Sorry.
Wow.
I sneezed. She's boring.
Fuck off.
She's so boring. Holy crap. They put her in the center of this whole universe. Oh my
she's
god.
one
I'm
of
sorry.
my
We're
favorite
celebrating
video-
games. My bad. I'll
She's
mute.
one of my favorite video game characters ever.
Sir.
Fuck off.
Sir.
Maybe you didn't understand her character, Sean.
I must have missed something.
She's not my favorite
really
character either.
revolutionary.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. She's not my favorite character either, Sean. So
Everything that was interesting they left behind in the first game.
No, absolutely not.
Wow.
Wow,
That's
something.
like
You guys don't like that one?
Sean came for blood.
Sean.
And I played this one.
Being a hater.
I played this game probably for triple the number of hours that Delvin put into God of War.
Yeah.
I played the mess out of this one.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Wow.
All right, what's your number 4?
Eeny, meeny, miny, The Last of Us Part 1, which probably would be higher if it wasn't a remake. But holy crap, this is one of the best games ever made. Undeniable. Period. Stop. Full stop. It doesn't even come close. These other games you guys are talking about. It would be number 1 if it was the first time I ever saw it. Beats the pants off of Part 2, and this just confirmed it. But holy cow, I enjoyed every single second that I returned back to The Last of Us Part 2.
I was waiting for that.
Part 1. I didn't slip.
I agree with everything you said, but I will
Except-
tell you that it's not on my list, and it's because 1, it was a remake, and
Mhm.
2, I didn't have the greatest time with it because I had a lot of glitches and stuff.
Oh,
So I'm
that
looking
sucks.
forward to playing the PC version. I've already pre-ordered it. So, but you know how I feel about this game. I absolutely love the game.
Yeah.
so,
I mean, I think all 4 of us here at least.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Love Part 1 a lot.
And the remake was worth
Yes.
that was
I
a
love
big
it too,
Totally.
Haley.
that was a big debate all year long was
You were-
whether it was worth it
you
or
were
not. It's
included
completely
in the
worth it.
4, Rebecca.
Yes.
Thank you.
The person sitting next to you does not like Part 1. So
That's okay. He's entitled to
Positivity.
his opinion.
It's not that I
Positivity.
don't like part 1. I just like part 2 better because I don't care.
We're not doing this
about
on the
Joel
show.
That's
or Ellie.
okay.
That
That's
is not the
okay.
show.
That's okay. Jeff.
We're not doing it on the show.
Okay.
Rebecca, you don't have to be nice to him. I'll say it for you. Fuck his opinion.
hey,
There's clearly a wrong answer in this, and you are wrong.
I'm okay with that because I don't give a fuck about your opinion neither.
Oh, I'm well aware of
Rebecca.
that.
Quattro.
I'm scared to go.
You should be.
I'm scared
This
to
is-
say mine.
What did
This
you
is- you
enjoy
should
this
be.
year, Rebecca?
Walk the plank. Wait till Sean
Kirby.
tells you how he doesn't like
Kirby or
any of your
Splatoon, here
answers.
it comes.
I had a lot of fun with Pokemon Scarlet I know it had its issues, but I think it's the correct
might
step
have
for
the most
Pokemon in
issues.
terms of open world games. I had so much fun playing with my friends. We
Sean
laughed
left.
very hard while we were playing it. It has some of my favorite Pokemon designs. The end game of it, I felt, is the most mature of any Pokemon game because it is the only Pokemon game to handle death. I really had a lot of fun with it, and I'm not saying that it is a great game. I'm saying it was one of the games that I had the most fun with.
Hey, that's what this show's all about.
Thank you.
It's a good answer. I like it.
What do got,
Thank you,
Sean?
Delvin.
And I'm going to tell you why. You made me change one of my choices.
The game was
Oh,
the
my
best.
God.
Thank you.
Dev,
The show go, Dev.
Number 4 for me was Destiny 2 Witch Queen. Campaign was a lot of fun. Had a really, really good time with that game. Didn't really get into a lot of the extra content like after like all the seasons, but just the initial campaign, everything they did with it, what they did with the story to push it forward. It was an absolute blast. So I had a really, really good time with that one. That's my number 4.
Solid.
who's
We're gonna reverse again and go back. So Dev, hit me with your number 3. But before we do that, we're through 2 rounds. That's 6 people. We've done 12 games. Has anybody picked the same game yet at all? What a diverse year.
Horizon.
You and
Horizon.
I picked
Yeah,
Horizon.
Horizon. I got
Okay.
Horizon.
That's it. 1 game. That's impressive. Dev, number 3.
Number 3, good old Sifu. This game kind of came out of left field. I was excited for it when it was announced. And it reminds me of Kung Fu on the NES. It feels like a grown-up version of that game, and I absolutely love that game on NES. And
It's not a
everything this
roguelike.
game did, it's not a roguelike. No,
That's
don't
what I
believe in
remember
that song.
most
It's
about
bull-
the
it's
game.
bullcrap. It's bullcrap. It's not a roguelike because you come back to level, everything is the same. It's not a roguelike. All right, it's Kung
got you.
Fu. It's NES. All right,
Which
Old
is also
school.
probably
Hard
a
games.
roguelike,
Heck
but
yeah.
Sure.
No. But yeah, it just
Listeners, if you don't remember, if you don't listen to PSVG, Dev was adamant for about 3 months that it wasn't a roguelike, despite the
I'm
developers
still
coming out and telling you that they made a
adamant
roguelike and on
that it's
Steam.
not,
It's a rogue.
and I don't care what they say. It's not
That
a
was
roguelike.
hilarious moment. You just reminded me
It's
of
just
that.
a-
That's
It's just an
Very
old
funny.
school NES game. That's what it
Sifu is a
It's hard.
roguelike, sir.
Because if I remember correctly,
Hey,
the question was asked,
fuck
do you know what a
y'all's opinion.
roguelike is?
yeah, yeah.
He said yes.
Yeah, I still don't think it's a roguelike. I don't care.
It's
what
a
the developer
roguelike.
say.
That was a good PSVG moment this year.
Yeah.
Doesn't
was very
matter
fun.
what the developer says. I don't care.
You still had
It doesn't
Only-
matter what the
only
developers say.
opinion that
Correct.
matters
The
to
game
me
is still a
is my
roguelike.
own. Nah, nope. Mm-mm.
I like
Those
this
are my
energy.
guns. I'm sticking to it.
This is
all
some
right?
Delvin Cox energy right here. Just fucking
straight.
fuck the facts.
Pretty much. Only facts that matter are the ones I'm putting out. Seafood, awesome. Number 3. If you ain't played it, you should pick it up. It's a really good time.
Write it down. And they get a movie.
The
The John Wick people are making a movie out of Steve.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's crazy. That's wild. What a story for a little indie game. All right, Bex.
So, as a lot of people know,
Uh-oh.
I really enjoy games
Here
with
it comes.
environmental storytelling. Most apocalyptic games feel very cookie cutter to me, like
know
man
where
with
this is going.
gun travels through broken world, shooting zombies, finding a cure. But Stray dared to do something a little
No.
bit different, and people were upset about that. This game, I felt like, had such a unique perspective that I have never played from a game before. And because the story was told through a lot of environmental narratives, like there wasn't a lot of dialogue in many parts of the game. So you really
Sure.
had to be reading the environment to know really what the story was. The people who rushed through the game in 2 or 3 hours didn't get it because they didn't take the time to be in the world. So I had a lot of fun with Stray. The puzzles felt very clever to me because if it was just a human character and you wanted to get into a room, you open the door, you walk through, you crash through the window. But in this game, you had to find clever ways to get through this world and to
That's true.
really navigate and find clever ways to get into places. So I really enjoyed my time with Stray. I thought that it didn't overstay its welcome. It was very succinct, but you could make it longer with the environment exploring.
I just want to point out,
Yes,
yelling at people for rushing through the game. The developers made it a goal for people to finish the game in 2 hours, so can't yell at people for that.
Yeah,
We can yell
I
at people
guess.
for whatever we want.
that's true.
That is true.
Dev's here.
They yell at me all the time for whatever they want.
There are no rules. Do whatever the fuck we want.
Well, there
That's
was
the
an
show.
achievement for that. I think you have to play through it multiple times because there's also an achievement for napping for a certain amount of time and meowing for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So
Protect.
there were very clever things, and there were many times that I laughed, like when you have to get your head caught in a bag, and when you put a harness on the cat and
Yeah.
it falls
bag
over. Like it's very fun and doesn't take itself too
Yeah, yeah.
seriously.
No,
and I just think it dared to do something different, and I think it should be applauded for that.
I do have to say I did enjoy that, like getting your head caught in the bag reverses your controls.
Yeah, I
It was
remember that.
clever. It was a very clever
Yeah.
game.
Did you shoot the basketball?
Yes, I did
Yeah.
get the achievement for the
Yes.
That was
basketball.
fun.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I will say this about Stray. Stray has an excellent ending.
Yeah, it does. That's what,
Yeah.
that's
The
what
ending
I was
of the-
going to say. I was
the
going to
game
back
is-
you up.
Thank you.
Worth playing for the ending. It's an honorable mention for me. I didn't like the first area that much, but the further I got into the game and started like getting the environmental storytelling in it, I enjoyed those aspects of it. So when I got to the ending and what happened, like, oh, this is kind of deep, and I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it. So I can see how you like the game.
I will take.
I also think a lot of people knock games for being linear. I feel like this is such a popular time for open world games, and linearity is seen as a negative thing. But to me, when I play games, I prefer the linearity. Actually, I don't like wondering where I'm supposed to go or wondering, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. What should I do next? So I don't think that's a negative aspect to it.
Sure, I'd agree with that. I like the game a lot. I disagree just slightly that I for me it definitely wore out its welcome kind of in the middle part, but it made up for it by the end. So that's my
fair.
lasting memory is I thought the ending was really cool in the way that it wrapped up. And
Yeah.
I definitely got to shout out all the selfies that I took with Annabelle, because Annabelle watched me play the game and she was totally enamored, like so many other people on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter, where it is really a commendation to how well they simulated like the reality of being a cat, because real cats seem to be hypnotized by it, and my cat definitely was. I've got
My cat did. Frisk did.
60 pictures of my cat watching me play, tapping on the screen, meowing, jumping on the screen. Like they were really into watching me play Stray. So that was I gotta say that's an experience I don't think I've ever had with any game that where my animals were clued in on the game that I was playing. But Annabelle was all about it.
The only experience I can even say similar is actually, like, I just noticed it the other day. In the next gen update for Witcher 3, like the leaves blowing, my cat just stares at the screen and just his eyes go back and forth like constantly as the leaves blow behind Geralt.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Bex,
I like
did your
that.
cat, like, was he enamored by Stray?
Yes.
Yes, especially when the meow came out of the PS5 controller.
Yep.
He really kind of perked up for that. I also just want to shout out that I got a modder to mod my cat into the game on the PC version.
Ooh,
So I can play
Nice.
with Frisk as my main character.
Frisk edition.
That's dope.
That's great.
Yes.
That's
It's a
dope.
really pretty game.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
also
like it.
very stylized as well.
Yeah,
So.
it's very nice.
I'm so glad that we said so many nice things about Stray. Thank you for letting me have that.
Yeah, that be glad
I mean,
you
I'm not
got
gonna lie.
that.
3's a little high, but sure.
We all have different reasons for having fun with our games.
Look. If Delvin can choose the devil within,
That's
in
true.
any-
It's way
any
better.
level. Rebecca's
Dev,
killing it with Stray.
We will find common ground. Stray is definitely way better than that.
See the shit I got to deal with every week. See why I was trying to call out
Delvin, you're
Rebecca?
valid. Your
And they wouldn't
opinions
let
are
me leave.
valid.
Yeah, you
Thank
hear her?
you.
My opinion is valid.
Mhm.
Stray is 1,000 times better than the shit you keep playing. Number 3 to you, Sean.
I'm torn, man. I have like shout outs and honorable mentions and stuff. I played Uncharted 4 on PC this year and it was awesome. Speaking of linearity
Nice.
being a good thing, that game is great and I'll stand by that for many, many years to come as the water's sour, I think, on Uncharted, unfortunately. But let me see. What's
I
that?
bought it.
water
I bought
sour?
it over
What-
the break. I didn't know
what-
it was
what-
souring. I love
What
it.
do you
What
mean?
water soured
What do you
on
mean
Uncharted?
I
the
just feel
water
like people, like-
soured on it?
I just feel like Uncharted and The Last of Us. I feel like everything from Naughty Dog, people are kind of going back like, it's not that great. Like
I
they go
get
like,
that a
oh,
lot. With The Last of Us, I see a lot of that. I haven't seen a bunch of that with Uncharted yet, but with The Last of Us, I feel like there's some Last of Us fatigue out there in the ether.
Well, get ready because Druckmann's hyping up part 3.
Well, I mean, we have the TV show I'm hyped for. Yeah,
yeah.
all those people are going to hate the TV show that comes out.
All those people can go suck it.
I am so stoked to watch the first episode next weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Uncharted number 3?
No, that was just a shout out to Uncharted. I'm gonna give because I know you're gonna talk about what I think I've got in my spot. I know you're gonna talk about this later, Donnie, so I'll jump in there. But Mario plus Rabbids: Sparks of Hope, I think was the best game on Switch this year. And I don't even know if it was really close, actually.
Ooh,
you can give me that eyebrow, Dev. That's fine.
Hard. I would disagree with that hard, but okay.
Interesting. What's better on Switch this year?
I don't have a Switch game in my top 5,
Kirby?
but I can absolutely tell you that my favorite Switch game was number 6, and it was Fire Emblem 3 Hopes.
Okay, I give you that. I didn't play it. That's fair.
Sean, just wait for my number 1.
I'm not pleased with your number 1.
You don't know my number 1.
Wow.
Is it this game? No, I think it's Splatoon. I think it's Splatoon. We did a thing on ours where
You'll
we
just have
guess
to wait and
everybody's
see.
number 1, and it was a laugh. It was a good time.
Oh, interesting.
I wouldn't even dare attempt to guess any of you guys' numbers.
Oh, everybody knows what mine is. Mine's self-explanatory.
Yeah, I got the top 2.
Yeah,
I
mine
don't know what Haley
is
says.
set in stone. All right, Splatoon.
I was Mario plus
I mean, not
Rabbids.
Splatoon. Sparks of Hope.
Yeah, it's great. It's I think I said I think it's the best. I think it's the best game on Switch. What?
Nice.
I thought it was done. I thought you guys were all shitting on it, so I thought that was over.
Yeah, we did.
Fight us.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's a good
Make me
pick.
feel alive.
Good pick.
Fight us.
I don't know if I care enough to fight it.
Oh, I got you.
But it's your number 3.
You guys, if
It's your
it
number
makes you
3.
feel
But don't
good, you
care
go
to fight
ahead.
for it, huh?
I
me-
played it.
Yeah, for
you
me,
know?
it was kind of a miss. And I'm not exactly sure why. I feel like that actually the linearity part to echo off of Rebecca. I kind of feel like it's like little open map design in a lot of side content. Just didn't feel, I don't know, the progression and like the straightforwardness of the first one that I feel like I kind of enjoyed. And I don't know, I just think all the other characters and like I didn't think it was nearly as funny as the first one or as quippy. I just wasn't nearly as hooked as
It's
the
just
first
so
one for
weird
me.
because the first one didn't come out this year. I thought we were talking about games that came out this year.
Oh yeah, no, I know that, but for all those reasons, it didn't stick with me. So it's kind of a miss for me actually this year.
I think it was a bunch of trade-offs overall, and it just kind of depends on where you net out on them. Because I think where every time you had like a Mario-ism in the first game, you had something that was Rabbids, and that was a trade-off. I think there was benefits to the way you wandered around the battlefield. I thought that was way better.
Did you like that?
Yep.
I definitely remember shouting that out on the show. I didn't like that as much. So maybe that's where we disagree most. I felt like it felt way more casual and not as, I don't know, strategic or intense as the first one.
I just started to notice how detailed the maps were created, because sometimes like you would just be able to get in, depending on the variety of different party members that you could have, all had different distances that they could all travel, and still it worked out. Like it still managed to be like, oh, I'm just not far enough. I still don't have this.
Gotcha.
And then there's also a tipping point if you do a bunch of that side missions where you can get really OP, and then you just start crushing through people. And I thought that was fun. I thought that was really fun.
Good,
and I didn't want to put it down. Yeah,
I enjoyed some of the boss fights that I had. I give it that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Solid.
good game.
Solid. Switch represent. Haley, is your number 3 also a Switch game?
No, I don't
think so.
My number 3, or like the third game I'm going to talk about, because again, I didn't number mine. Sifu. I really enjoyed Sifu. Granted, I did play it on baby ass baby mode, but
Sometimes you gotta do that.
I really enjoyed
I'm
it.
with you.
I had a great time with it. I love the free updates they keep throwing out. I should probably jump back in and see what this arena mode that they've announced is coming is going to be like. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. Dev's pretty much said everything about it, except that he's wrong and it is a roguelike.
Sure. No, it is always interesting when we do these. I always kind of go back and forth. As like, if you say a game that somebody else has, do you both talk about it then, or do you just keep waiting for your turn to come back around and talk about it again? I feel like the waiting part always plays out anyway. So I just kind of went with it. Yeah. speaking of baby ass baby mode, my number 3 is Callisto Protocol. I adored this game and I loved it, but halfway through it, I did turn it down to easy because it's tough. It's really tough. Not like Dark Souls tough, but I mean it's tough to the point where if like you can't like casually play it.
No,
Like,
yeah.
you know, like you have to just be really focused while you're playing it, or you'll just die.
I'll be honest. I turned it down to easy mode after I discovered that one of the like all the bosses are insta kills. Like,
Yeah, there are.
Like if you turn it down to easy mode, you can survive being hit once by the boss before it's an insta kill. And that's when I turned it down to easy mode. But I loved Callisto. So.
I love the game for a lot of different reasons. The story is good. It is not crazy twisty or anything like that. It's about what I expected. It's almost like Horizon in space. It's kind of Horizon-y, kind of overall plot wise. There's big sci-fi epic, but over a lot of as we talked about this game leading up to its release, everything was kind of focused on Dead Space, and I didn't really care if it was or wasn't like Dead Space. I'm not like so in love with Dead Space that I wanted to be that. But I was really impressed with how well they nailed like the tone and the setting. It is one of the best, I think, of the year. And it is one of the prettiest games I've actually ever seen. I think visually, and this will come up later and it's a superlative for me, visually, it's one of the best games I've ever played. Mm-hmm. It's extremely detailed, and it definitely has that industrial sci-fi, spacey type of look that you would expect when you think of something like Dead Space or Alien or any number of things that kind of come from that genre. So that with the combat that I enjoyed and the story that I thought was really good. And I just liked the game overall. And I think it's more impressive that it's for a first developer, their first outing. And it is a really good, like AAA-ish game, to use a term that people compare. Beautiful. We just don't get a lot of games like that. And we even see first-party publishers that struggle putting those out. And here is the studio that landed it on their first try. It's really impressive. I was like, we talked about it on PSVG. We got one of the over-unders for the Metacritic, right? You guys remember that? Yeah. And I took the low end because I didn't have like big hopes for the game in terms of it being like a critical success. And it was somewhat, divisive, but it was way better than I thought it was going to be. And I just figured first time dev, first time thing, an obvious comparison. I thought it might have some troubles. And I think they nailed it. Like, dude, just nailed it. There are a lot of publishers that wish they could make a game that good.
Yeah. So it's an honorable mention for me.
I loved it. Number 3 for me is Callisto Protocol. Delvin, you're up.
My number 3 is going to be a little divisive, but I don't give a shit. Because the experience in the game meant more to me than anything else right now. My number 3 is Among Us. I don't play multiplayer games.
Nice.
I don't like multiplayer games.
That came out this year?
No, it didn't.
No, but they had updates and stuff.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But the experience of me playing with my friend who pisses me off on the show every goddamn week, Devin Tyus. and anybody who knows me, I hate playing multiplayer games.
Did you play the first person mode, or are you just playing regular Among Us?
Regular Among Us.
Okay.
Regular.
Well, first person's only for VR.
I know. That's what I was asking. He has VR.
I have VR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
continue.
Poor Haley.
Continue, Delvin.
Wait, when do you guys play Among Us together, and why am I not invited?
Ooh. It's a white thing.
So basically, we have a mutual friend, Crystal, who has a bunch of voiceover people that she always gathers. She's like, "Hey, we're playing Among Us. Jump in."
You're not included.
And we do voiceover stuff with her, so we jump in. But next time, we'll hit you up if you want to come and get murdered by people.
We'll hit you up.
Who are actors, and it makes it that much more difficult to call out who the killer is. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, because they're big time liars.
The reason I asked about the reason I mentioned that first person's VR only is because I believe everyone would have to play VR for it to allow first person.
Oh my god, mode. Who cares?
I don't know. but I had so much fun playing with them, and for somebody who hates.
Maybe he's hanging out with 4 people with VR units. Maybe it's like all just Judge Dredd over there, Demolition Man, just all up in Dev's room. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Delvin, I like that you picked that one because it was a personal reason to you that you had so much fun playing with your good friends.
Yes, it was a blast. We were joking, having fun. They were picking at me. They kept throwing me out the airlock. And they
Nice.
were wrong every time. And then the one time they weren't wrong, I was the killer. And me and Dev were the killers.
Yeah, we got away with
it was
lots
great.
of murder. It was great. It was awesome.
Were you wearing the
Lots of
Jeff
murder, that's
Keighley
good.
mask?
Didn't know there was a Jeff Keighley
that
mask,
shit.
so no.
Not wearing that shit.
I'm going to twist the knife a little more. The reason I bring it up is if you haven't watched any of the TikTok Among Us content, the VR mode is hilarious. There
Yeah.
are people
It
that
looks great.
scare the shit out of children and like just run after them
Yeah.
and chase them, and they're like, "I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you!" I mean, it is
Yeah.
it is great fun
the
just
ti-
to watch.
The TikTok Among Us clips are
Yeah, it's real good.
good.
I'll have
Yeah.
to check that
Real
out.
good. You do.
Yeah.
If nobody
We need
has, if you haven't ventured down that rabbit hole, there's fun times to be had for sure.
We need to get another Among Us game. Another
Do we?
Among Us game.
We
It
It's
almost
so much
it
fun.
almost
Yes.
ripped us apart last time.
I'm okay with that.
Not more than this show is ripping us apart.
It's bringing us closer together.
I'm having a lovely time.
I'm having
I don't
a
know what
great
you're
time. Yeah,
talking
so
about.
am I.
This feels right at home.
I will say this. I had so much fun playing with Dev. I'll be open to playing with PSVG.
Yeah, I'm not- I'm
Yay.
not doing it.
I'll tell you right
Last
now.
time I was
I-
screaming at the top of my lungs because Rebecca was the killer, nobody would believe me, and I
I'm
got
not-
voted
welcome
out.
to my life.
I was
That's
so
what, that would
mad.
happen. That's what kept happening to me every time. I'm like, I'm not
Everybody
the
just
killer.
loves Rebecca all the time, unconditionally. I was like, they're like, "How do you know,
Look.
Donnie?" I watched her do it,
That's how it was with
Yeah.
Tara.
and Rebecca
Like,
was
she
like,
the
Yes,
killer all
"That's
the
exactly
time. I
what he
kept
would
trying to be
say,"
like,
and
look,
everybody
she's the
just
killer.
believed her.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
I can't go through this again.
That is great. That is a great freeze frame right there.
It is.
Someone screenshot
Someone
of
clip
it.
that.
Kyle, you know what to do.
Yes.
Okay, lovely number 3. Hit us with your number 2.
My number 2 was Horizon.
Nice.
I love this
Got word,
game.
Sean?
I thought
Also, my
Go
number.
ahead. You go ahead.
I think if you take the
It's
story
very fitting for us. For
as a
PSVG.
whole, the story is great. I think some people had problems with the mainline story, which I can see that. But if you play the side missions and go through the certain things, like when you go, I can give small spoiler. When you go find Vegas,
Yeah,
Oh,
And-
Vegas
Yeah.
is great.
special
Yeah.
moment.
it's such a cool, amazing moment when you sit there and you turn on the lights and you see the fireworks. Like, holy shit, this is beautiful. And then you have these other moments in the game that kind of just draw you into the world. So much world building. I think the problem that people have with it is a lot of that world building is in the side quests. The side quests are better than the story quests in the game. So if you don't play the side quests, you're missing out on a huge chunk of the story and a huge chunk of what's the fun of the game. And I think I love the story. I like Aloy as a character, and I think as you play the side quest stories, you get more of the layers of her.
Yeah.
And she kind of has a
Maybe
kind
Sean
of a
didn't do the
stoic-
side quests.
I played all of it.
Sean's-
What a
Sean's
great hallmark of
thing
an
is invalid.
amazing game. If you don't do the side missions, then the game sucks. That's awesome.
It's a lot of open
That's
I
world.
feel that
great.
way about a lot of open world games.
Yeah, that's a
the
lot of
bigger
open
games,
world.
I do too.
like there's so
Ghost
much
Definitely
more
that fits
story
for Breath of the
in
Wild.
Well,
world.
the side quests are
It should
there for a
enrich it.
reason.
It should enrich it. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misunderstand. That's not what I'm saying. But if
It
the
does enrich it.
only interesting stuff is in the side stuff, that's not good.
Delvin's wrong. The main quest is definitely interesting. You meet
Yeah, I
great
think-
characters
yeah.
in the main quest.
I think the
No,
main quest.
I
is
said
also super
some
enjoyable.
people. I said some people didn't like the main quest, but I
This
think
is
the
great.
side missions are actually better than the main story,
This is amazing.
in my opinion. I enjoyed
mean,
it.
The thing is, Sean, you picked Mario versus Rabbids, so I can't take anything you say as any kind of.
You didn't play it
Anything.
though.
It was
you,
a good
you didn't
picture.
play
I
it.
didn't have to. I didn't.
I
have to.
will-
He's not going to play it.
I will add to a little Horizon love, and I would say that while being the Horizon, the person that played it, I don't love Aloy as much as everybody else does, but I think this game shined in non-Aloy characters, and I think that's a difference for me between the first one and the second one. Is her group and her family that like rallied around her, and even the adversaries and enemies, like it was just all better, and by like proxy,
Yeah.
like her story's
Yeah.
better because everything
Absolutely.
else is better. Because I was
mean,
very
it-
much that way with the first one. I came out of the first one being like, I guess I didn't feel like I got it. I was like, everybody loves her. I don't really get it, but
I
Um,
wouldn't say that I love Aloy, but I understand her character. The fact that like she has been somebody who has always I gotta do it myself because There's nobody who's going to do anything for me. So initially she's like, leave me alone. Like, I'm going to do it by myself. I'm used to not having to interact with people. Now I have people who want to interact with me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that kind of character development. I thought it made the entire story that much more interesting because you're not just witnessing what's going on in Horizon, but you're also witnessing her development and learning how to actually people.
Yeah, and her companions, they have a lot of heart for her, and that
Mhm.
definitely shines through. It's pretty good.
And again, like just shout out to Ashley Birch for
Yes.
pulling double duty is the best way to describe it.
She is so talented. I
Yeah.
love Ashley Birch. She's my favorite.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I say shout out to the computer character. There's a main kind of AI.
I mean, you can mention it. It's in the first game. That's not a spoiler.
I thought the goddess lady.
Yeah, she's in the first game.
She's in the first one.
You can mention
Yeah.
her.
She was the best one. Best part of the game, in my opinion.
Nice.
Because it was tied to the first game. Every step they took away from the first. I've already said what I say. I don't need to pile on. You guys all like it. What am I doing?
Pile on. Fucking stomp on the
Hey,
brakes.
The
hey,
only
Sean,
opinion that matters
what's
is
happening
yours,
with
Sean.
your camera now?
Yeah, having a little robo.
Step in here,
Robo going
PSVG land me.
What are we on? Number 2? Yeah, number 2 for me is Call of Duty. So I loved Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think it was a significant improvement over the first Modern Warfare reboot, which everybody here knows how much I liked that one. And I absolutely love this one. It's it's not my favorite. I still don't think it's better. It's not my favorite Call of Duty campaign, but it might be my second. It might be my second favorite Call of Duty campaign. And I have played some Warzone. And so I've played a little bit of the multiplayer, which is more than I typically do anyway. But outside of that, I mean, it doesn't matter because the campaign was just great. It was such a spectacle of graphics. It looks so good. It's so well built and it's so diverse and you hop all across the world. I mean, it felt like a blockbuster, like a movie. It felt like an action movie. It could have been an action movie. And I cared about the characters, which is not something that I say about every Call of Duty, but this one I definitely did. And at the end, when you all donned the ghost mask, I was like, let's fucking go. Like I was all in. I was all in. And it's
I
diverse. You
I love
got complexity in the campaign, little survival missions where you scavenge around and MacGyver your way out of the situation. I think it's definitely cool that it's different, right? At least they're trying to do something different. I loved it. I don't have a whole lot more to say to it outside of that.
I want to say I love that you can literally do that first crafting mission without firing a gun at all.
Yeah, that's stuff's new for Call of Duty. And the one thing I will say here now, before we get into my next one, because my list, and more so than I think I've ever done ever before in perfect dev fashion, is just my favorite games. Like that's literally how I rank them. I rank them by how much did I enjoy these games, and I just had so much enjoyment.
What we were supposed to do.
I know, but in years past, I've always wrestled with. I love this game, but I think this other game is like better. If I was like weighing it, if I'm going through all the things about it, like it's just a great game versus a game that I loved. This list is just the games that I loved. And that's all the thought that went into is how much did I love these games. And there are a lot of people that have said a lot of things about Call of Duty they don't like. And none of those things took away from how much I enjoyed the game. So that's why it's that high on my list, because I just had a blast with it.
That's the reasoning why I picked Pokemon Scarlet. Yes, it has its glaring issues. I'm not going to defend it as like the best game of the year or whatever, but I just genuinely had fun with it.
Sure.
Games are meant to be fun. That is the only way I'm ever going to rank games. Period.
So I'm down.
Thank you for saying that.
All right, Elden Ring.
Speaking of fun,
it makes an appearance.
You're wrong, Haley.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Hey, so you gonna beat that so TPR can pierce his nipples?
Yes, I feel like I have to.
I already forgot about that. Now, like, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy Souls games. I'm not very good at them, and again, thank you to Delvin for the birthday present. But I like taking my time with them, and just learning enemy movements and whatnot, and I have a great time with Elden Ring. It's the open world it's the open world nature of it as well. You can go anywhere and do anything, as Donnie noticed when he joined the stream of us helping Sean beat Margaret.
Yep. Who was the other guy that was helping you?
Bad Bit.
No. The character.
Oh, Roger.
Roger. Yeah.
Roger. Yes, Roger. Oh, Roger.
Justice for Roger. I will say, look, I shit on this game all year because I'm just not into Souls. And I never will be. I've tried to play them before. I had a lot of fun hanging out and watching Sean play it. I did make jokes because it is literally nothing about that game is anything that I would want to play. But had a very enjoyable time watching Sean defeat Margaret with the help of Roger. I mean, I was invested. We were all invested into Sean's success. It was a grand time. So I definitely get it. Like the last point that I just made about this being my favorite games of the year, if we were doing like a critical review game of the year, with me not even having played it, I would have picked Elden Ring because I feel like it was the story of the year. Like this is the game of the year for most, like the industry. It is the highlight, the marquee moment of the year, I think, for the greater, the populace, right? The greater group. Because it was a monster. It was like the one thing that dethroned Grand Theft Auto. Like finally, Elden Ring was huge, just a juggernaut. And having watched Sean play it and seeing all of like the gothic stuff, and like I get it. It looks. If I was into a game like that, I mean, I did watch Sean die 100 times, and that hammer, Margaret, when she turned around and hit you right in the face. Every time I felt so bad, I was like right in the teeth. Every time. Good times though. Good times.
I mean, I'm with you. And actually, I'm going to substitute this game, which was on my top 5, but I've talked about it before in other places, and you just kind of mentioned it as well. I want to substitute it out for a game that I think is in my top something of all time, maybe top 5, maybe top 10. But I played it for the very first time this year on PC. It was released in January 2022. 2018's God of War.
Great game.
And that game is special. Holy cow. And I think one of the things I appreciate about it most is that I played it well outside the hype cycle about it all. At that time, we didn't even know that Ragnarok was coming for sure this year.
Sure.
So I got to play just completely on my own. It played very well on PC as well. And I just kind of I felt like for whatever reason, whatever happened that I wasn't playing back in 2018, this was the year I was supposed to play it. My son was a little older. That seemed to play a little bit more of a role in my enjoyment of it. And I just felt like everything clicked into place. And when I think about, like, you've kind of reframed this a few times, Donnie, our favorite games of the year, it's hard to remember games you played back in January, but Steam does a lovely job of showing us what we played back then. And PlayStation coming out with PC games this year, guys. It's a huge deal. So I don't know. I feel like everybody said all the things about God of War 2018 already, but probably one of the best games I played this year and probably one of the best games of all time, just massively. And actually is one of the reasons I don't want to play Ragnarok. If I'm being completely honest, I'm only a couple hours into this game because it's so good. I don't want to, I don't know. I feel like how could it be better?
You have to look, it's not about being better. It's about continuing the story and finish part of it. That's what Ragnarok is. It's not attempting to be better than 2018. It's just completing the story.
I will get to that. Why you should play it.
The first 5 hours or so. I might be farther into Ragnarok than you actually.
You'll get to that when you get to the game, Delvin. When you get into the game, you'll get back to him on that. Get back to him on that once you get into the game a little bit.
Like I said, once we talked about my number one, I'll get clearly.
Like, have you gotten past the wolf? Have you gotten past the wolf part?
Yes.
There's the wolf at the beginning. Are you past that part?
Way past that part.
We have a superlative for Blast from the Past, and just to echo a little bit here before we get into that down the road, this year was a big year for me in terms of playing things that came out before. If anything, that might be the most memorable moments I have of this year. So, we'll talk about that a little later.
Same. Nice.
Bex, you're up.
For a lot of the reasons why you picked Call of Duty, Donnie, for my number 2 is Splatoon 3.
Nice.
Simply because besides Zelda, Splatoon has really become my favorite series, I think. I think it's at my number 2 series at this point. I did not ever expect a Splatoon 3 on the Switch. I was very adamant for a long time. No,
told me many times.
it's not going to happen. And I was very wrong. I don't think this game needed to exist, but now I get to enjoy 2 at least more years of content being fed into one of my favorite franchises with my friends. There's really nothing like having dedicated weekends to just hop on with all my friends and play the Splatfest, and it's a little bit different this time with 3 teams. I will also say that I did not like the campaign modes of the first 2 Splatoon games, but I really did enjoy the campaign mode of this one. It was quite different from the first 2. I was like ready to just dismiss it and not really care about it, but I was a little bit more invested in this one. I'm excited for the updates. I'm excited for the expansions that will be coming, especially if they're as good as the Octo expansion in Splatoon 2. So really, I mean, it doesn't do anything drastically different than Splatoon 2, but I really don't think it needs to, because it's one of my favorite games and I get to keep playing it for time and time again.
Nice.
I love the campaign as well. I'll just back up on that. I thought the campaign was excellent.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
My number 2 is Horizon. We've already said plenty about that, and I don't need Sean making another face about Horizon. So I'm just going to
do it again, Sean.
1.
Third time's a charm. Hit it again.
What was your favorite part? Was it when all crazy at the end? Oh, you thought that was interesting, the first one. How about this?
You get to fly.
I actually really enjoyed the third part. The ending of it was leading into.
I did
part 2.
too.
Great.
I thought the ending
I love
for the
that
second
kind of
one was
stuff.
way better than the ending for the first one.
Yep.
Good. That explains everything. That explains entirely the difference of opinions
you don't
here.
like sci-fi. Got it.
I love sci-fi. The first one's
No.
sci-fi.
Yeah, he does.
You-
Sean loves sci-fi.
I love sci-fi.
Sean is all about
You
that.
make these sweeping
If anything,
comments.
I don't.
I won't have it. Other people like you gonna let you do this?
I'll say, if anything, I'm the one that usually doesn't. Yeah, Sean
Oh,
loves
okay.
that.
There's one little bit. You don't like this entire genre.
Nah,
Oh,
you don't like
okay.
the genre at all. I understand now. I understand your hatred for the game. I get it.
Blanket statements.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So yeah,
Okay.
Horizon
Love
is my number
you.
2. So number 1, God of War Ragnarok.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, no surprises there. Ragnarok is just fucking fantastic. It is just a journey. It's such.
I can't wait for Delvin to
journey.
find out.
I know. I can't. Me either. I've been waiting to talk to him
Yeah,
about
I've been
this
waiting for him to
since the
finish it.
game came out.
Yeah.
Like, God, you chose to play your number 5 trash game instead of this. I'm just gonna be done with it by Christmas. Nah. Still not done with it. It's
Definitively.
January 4th.
What about Valentine's Day?
nonsense.
Think you make it about
Yeah,
Valentine's?
No.
Should we do?
Can we get
No.
about
Start doing
Valentine's
bets.
It depends on how much action I get.
Day? Oh God.
We'll be honest, right? Look, your boy's a hot commodity right now.
Okay.
He's
But,
not wrong.
Oh
The
my
journey
God.
that you go on in this game with Kratos and Atreus and everybody else,
Apparently, Haley
it's
knows.
just
I do know.
Oh my god.
ugh.
Yeah.
XP get real close. They're real close to Ron XP.
My son tells too much.
Yeah, he does.
Apparently,
Dad's
your
out getting
son
action.
knows
Like, oh,
too much.
God.
Wow.
What kind of show is this?
Hey, it's just,
This is
Rebecca,
normal
you
wear.
know what kind
you
of
haven't been here in a
know what
while, but if you haven't been
PSVG is.
listening, we're right at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a show
Normal wear.
about nothing and maybe some video games still in.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Ragnarok.
Sean, you should play Ragnarok because if you're enjoying what they're building in 2018, where they take the rest of it with Ragnarok is just incredibly epic. It is an amazing story. It's
Sean, you can wait for it to come on PC like me, man.
you can,
That I actually might end up doing that just because of where the
That's what I'm
PS5.
doing.
It has more to do with where the PS5 is in our house. It's up. It's on the main floor, so it's a whole thing. I
much
have a question
like
about it.
Delvin, You can move them.
And
Can
I
you, though?
can't. I got a bad
That's the
back.
thing. You need like
I got a bad back. I don't have the
backloaders and
forklift.
stuff. You gotta, yeah.
You can also
it's
remote play. You
Sean,
gotta-
heavy
I
thing.
do. I am setting up my remote play. I will check that out. That has been proposed as an option.
Sean, what's your Ragnarok question?
I had a question about one of the characters who I'm very interested to see what happens, and it's Witch Lady. I wanted is that a big part, or do they go totally in a
yeah.
She's
different?
around.
Oh.
It's a huge part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Yes.
like it's a huge part in the first one, she's a huge part in the second one. Freya is yeah.
Because I
I was
feel
wondering what
like
he was
that's
talking
the,
about
at least in the
Rich
first
Lady. I was like,
first game,
Freya?
that's the best performance.
I would agree with you there.
Say what?
I think
Yeah.
she's also the best performance in the second one. Like she's my favorite character.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah.
she didn't
Oh.
get nominated, to be honest.
I agree.
Like not even nominated. Like what in the world, Jeff Keighley?
I think her.
I don't know,
or
man. Like
Atreus
like
should have
her
been
story
nominated
coming
over
out.
Chris Judge.
Ugh,
I don't
coming
agree.
out of
I'll
the
tell you.
first game.
Oh boy.
Like what a
You know
what
what
a
happens when you talk
conflict
about the Game
for her.
Awards?
And
Internet goes out.
like I just
Yeah, she's frozen now.
Oh no, he's gone. We've lost Sean.
oh no, I can hear you all. Oh no,
Yeah, you went away for a
You're
second
back.
there. You're
Came
back
back.
now.
You're back.
I can hear everything you're saying about me, so that's good. My bad.
What happens with Chris Judge? You bring him up, and it's
I guess so.
yeah,
Yep.
runs out of bandwidth.
It's this damn
Yeah.
hardwired internet mine.
Like you said about like her performance is amazing in both games. I think her performance, and like I said, even Atreus' performance should have been nominated over Christopher Judge's. I think they just had so much more dynamism in what they were delivering and what their characters were doing. Like I appreciate Kratos and what Chris Judge did with the character, being able to give anything to like the lines he had. I
Yeah.
just think that the other characters had so much more.
Yeah. Like was it a makeup, do you think? Like for the first game, maybe you should have got it then. And
No, I think
No.
because it was a surprise then. Like Kratos, we never seen Kratos like that. So he breathed new life into Kratos. We never seen that before. So but now we're doing it again in the second one. I don't know.
I think
it's different.
Judge's
Yeah.
performance was highly regarded in the industry. Like I also agree that I would have nominated Freya's actress. I for the life of me can't remember her name. Over Christopher Judge, but the rest of the industry, I've really heard them talking about like how much like they loved Judge's performance, and that's why he won. But I do want to say, like, of the other actors nominated in that category, like the voice actress for Amicia and Plague Tale also did a really good job. So like it's hard to like digest like not everyone's gonna agree on who won, because I know a lot of people also really wanted the girl from Immortality to win. I never played that one, but they loved her performance. So
Of course they did. Dev knows what I'm talking about.
I was
I
giving
just
the
called
nod
on what you're talking about.
to Donnie and them.
Oh, that was for Donnie. Yeah, it looked like you're looking at me.
Sorry.
You don't know. Okay.
Mike, next.
Anyway,
I love you though, Sean. I do.
I love you
Let's
too.
go.
I'm much more interested in Freya and what she's about than Kratos and even Atreus. Even though
I
there's
think
yeah,
it
I
all
might be
ties
surprised.
together. It all
Yeah.
ties together extremely well.
yeah, it does.
I'm down for
Everything
that
about
story.
This game comes together so incredibly well. The voice acting, the storylines, the twists, the combat, like everything in this game is just absolutely top notch.
I love it.
I don't play games over ever really. This is one that I would play again.
And you'll have the opportunity when New Game Plus comes out in like 2 months.
I wouldn't play it again with New Game Plus. I would just start over. I don't care about New Game Plus. I want to do everything all over.
It'll be
again
interesting
and
to hear
begin
Sean
again.
revisit when he does ever play it and see where it would fit on this list, if at all.
Yeah, I love this game.
Let me
adore
ask
it.
a question.
It is top 5 all time for me at this point.
Wow.
High
Let me
praise.
ask a question. Should I go now since it's the
I
same
mean,
game?
Yes.
I kind of want to
Delvin,
should I
race
win?
you, Delvin. I kind of want to I feel like let's go. Like I'll catch up.
Okay.
Let's just do this.
I mean, Delvin,
I'll-
it's also my number one too. So
Okay. Yeah. So all
Okay,
three.
so
you
you want to go first, Haley?
no, go ahead.
I'll tell you why it's my number one. I think I love 2018 God of War because of the story and everything that came with it. And this one, I think, improves on it in every aspect of the first one. In terms of like, you have more weapon variety, you have more things you can do, you have more characters that you fight. Like it's not just the same 5 creatures that people like. That was one of the complaints about 2018. Like, oh, you just fight these same guys over and over again. There are so many different creatures that you fight in this game, in so many different areas that look so vastly different from the last area you were in. It adds so many elements to the game. The acting in this game is phenomenal. I know people are saying like, there are other people that should have deserved it before Christopher Judge, but I gotta tell you, he did an amazing job.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely.
It's one of those cases where it's like less is more. And the moments, I think the game touches me more because being a father of a kid that's a teenager and seeing how he has to move and how he's trying to. Kratos in this game is more expressive and more of a father than he was in 2018. And that's kind of a hard thing to say. But by far, he is actually doing the dad thing. He's expressing emotions. He's expressing feelings. He's showing grief, anger. He's trying to he's literally raising his son in the game. And I don't think I've ever seen that in the game when you get a father like torn with like should I be teaching my son this? How do I go this? Am I doing the right thing? And seeing the consequences of that. Then on the other side of that, you're watching Atreus grow from a boy to a man as well. Mm-hmm. And the game looks beautiful, and it shows so many emotions in it. There's one moment in the game that stuck with me very much so that I'm still playing through it. I love. There's a moment where Atreus messes up really bad. Like he fucks up big time. He goes back to everybody, and they're talking. Everybody's yelling at Atreus like, I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did this. And all of a sudden, Kratos, who doesn't have that many lines in the game, like a lot of grunts and things like that, he stops everybody and says, you know what, son? You messed up, but we're going to help you fix it. He doesn't yell at Atreus. He doesn't chastise him. He sits there. He tells Atreus, we're going to fix this. We're going to make this right. Everything's going to be okay. And it was such a real moment to see that happen and Atreus hug his father. And you see the emotion on Kratos' face. And you're like, oh shit, this is like a real moment that you would see like in a movie or something like that. And that meant a lot to see like a father and son have that bond. Especially when in 2018, you just kind of had this experience where Kratos is, hey boy, do this, boy, move that. And now he's like, my son needs my help. I'm going to go through heaven and earth to make sure my son is okay. It's such a great journey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think there are so many, the characters that are in this have their own story that add on to that journey. Whether it's Thor, Brock and Sindri, so Odin. Every character.
Hey, be careful. You're getting into spoiler territory.
I'm not saying anybody else, but every character that's in this game has their own side story that brings so much to the world, to the mythos, to everything about this. And this game it's a flawless, perfect sequel
that he hasn't finished
to God of War. Yeah, and the thing about it is, I love it so much. I don't want to finish it.
Okay, but you literally have like 25 hours left, sir.
I told you.
I'm fine with that.
Ways to go. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I'm still playing side quests, and the side quests are expansive. They're great. They're amazing, and they add so much to the story. There are side quests that give you details that explain things that happen in the story, and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Now they close little like logic gaps that you would think like, why is this happening? Like, oh, this is why this is happening. And I think because of that, it's just an amazing experience. I haven't experienced anything this year quite like that, and that's why it's my game.
Okay, so I agree with a lot of what Delvin said. I will also say I love that each of the realms in Ragnarok has its own like side stories. So like there are side quests that you'll encounter, but then each of the realms has their own sub story going on. And so you'll get involved and you'll help, and it's the stories are really well told. I love the growth of Sindri and Brock's relationship in this one. Sindri and Atreus' relationship. There's the combat depth is really good. And I do want to shout out. I'm not going to mention the character name, but I want to shout out. I want to shout out ProZD's performance. For anyone who's unfamiliar, that's Sung-Won Cho, who also voiced Flack in Borderlands 3. He plays a character that you meet the first time you go to a specific location. Everybody here should well, everybody that's
I
played
have
knows
no
what I'm
idea
talking
who
about.
Prosy D is, so I have no idea.
I love that man. I love him.
I do.
I just want to say I was in the hotel room next to him at PAX East. Just saying.
Yeah, I okay. I won't mention the
Where are you now?
character's name, but Dev, the squirrel, the squirrel.
Oh, I mean, I feel like you could have just said that. Just the squirrel. Just
I love
Love that
his
man.
his performance as the specific character who is a squirrel, and he's very good. So that's why God of War Ragnarok is my number one.
Excellent. Rebecca, back to you.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not play God of War Ragnarok.
Same.
Very clearly to me, the game of the year, my favorite, was Live Alive. It
Nice.
is simply from the golden era of JRPGs. It was originally released by Square in Japan, never made its way to the West until now. What a beautiful, amazing game. It is funny, it is serious, it is heartbreaking. It lets you pick from 8 different scenarios that you can do in any order with a wide variety of gameplay and objectives. And some of them focus on stories, some of them focus on battles, some of them focus on more puzzle solving. And it really all comes together in the end game of it. And that's when it really gets deep. The battle system is fun. It really takes risks for its time. It came out in '94 originally, but they made it so beautiful, that 2D HD style. The soundtrack is so good. The megalomania theme that plays during bosses was stuck in my head for months and months and months. It was the inspiration for a lot of these songs in Undertale, Toby Fox's Undertale. Any 90s JRPG fan, I know you listening to this, you skipped this game because Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out. And you said, I'll get Live Alive later this year when I'm done Xenoblade. Well, you haven't. Go buy it. Go play it. If you loved Chrono Trigger, you loved Final Fantasy VI, you loved all of those JRPGs from the 90s, from that golden era, you need to go play Live Alive. This was the best game of this year, and not enough people played it.
how long is it?
So each of the scenarios themselves are pretty short. It can be broken up. The scenarios themselves are about 2 to 3 hours long. There's 8 of them, and then there is an end game portion to that. So I would say it is on the shorter end for JRPGs, maybe around 25, 30 hours.
Okay, and it's on Steam, yeah.
That's pretty good.
I think it's a Switch exclusive for now. I don't know if it's a timed exclusive.
If it comes to Steam, I'll pick it up because
It probably will. Most Square games do.
Okay.
Yes.
playing
Devin,
on the
you
Switch.
would love this game. You would love this.
Cool.
Solid.
I'm definitely gonna pick it up at some point.
You've got a lot of support
Good.
in the chat.
Thank you.
Looks amazing.
It's
Yeah,
Sean.
I love that 2D HD look. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, that's a trend that I would love to see continue, because they are. I don't play them, but they are beautiful to look at.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
And
Sweet
I take
Hands
back
Girl.
whatever the heck nonsense I said about your number 1 pick earlier, Rebecca. That's a
Nope.
great pick.
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
Can't take it back, Sean.
Ooh,
I take
Sean's
it back. I can
corrected.
take it back. I can take it back. That's fair. I'm a human being. I can do that.
Yep.
I'm so glad nobody has said this game, and I don't think anybody will say this. This is some of the most fun that I've had in years, and gameplay for me typically will win out over story and performance and everything like that. But Neon White is just
Fun game.
pure fun. That
Yeah.
game is great. And I ignored it for all the wrong reasons. People focused on the cards and like it's a card game, blah, blah, blah. Like, who cares, man? That game feels like it's instant. It's not like just play the first 10 hours and like you'll get it. It's from the first level. It looks, feels, plays absolutely amazing. Great soundtrack. It's one that I just don't think is played by enough people. I would love to see this thing just like completely take off. And
I don't know, man. I don't know with that. It was huge when it came out. Like it was.
I know,
big.
but like even bigger, like huge
It
for
was-
like an
it was
indie kind of
trending
thing.
on Twitch. I mean, a lot of people were playing it.
Then even
like-
more, make
Okay.
these people billionaires. You know,
Fair.
make them multimillionaires. Neon White. I just felt like it was it was very bold in its design, and it just didn't give a damn. Like, it was really, really good. And as tempting as it is to put a game like Elden Ring or some of these others as my number one, when I think about like the most fun that I had this year, and like instantaneously I fired this thing up and I'm like, I get it. But it's easy to learn, hard to master kind of a thing. Yeah. It's totally optional if you want to go replay a mission or a level and get it done quicker. You can do it. The game guides you in a way that isn't hand-holdy, but it's still exciting. There's all these side missions that you can do that aren't essential, but they feel good to do because you're just loving this gameplay. And Neon White, I think, is special. And I feel like it's different from whatever my game of the year was last year or the year before that. It doesn't look, feel, sound like anything that I've played in a really long time. And I just really enjoyed my time with Neon White. So shout out to Neon White.
I liked it a lot too. And it's really fun if you're into leaderboard chasing and score chasing. If you really get into that competitive aspect, it's a great game for that.
Totally.
And it has a great look. I mean, it really has a great look, and I love it's fast and fluid.
It just never gets boring. Like, to your point about Call of Duty, it's like, okay, you've got this mastered. Here's something new. Here's a new card, and here's a new ability, and it's like it's going to change things up a little bit. And just the discovery of, oh, you could try this and just jump off the side of this building and hit these enemies over here, and now you're at the end. And it's just so fun. So yeah, I really, and also I guess just overall, while I close up my top 5, a lot of these that I played are on my PC. Like, I'm kind of following your guys' lead on this. My year was I picked up my 3080. I've got my gigantic monitor.
I don't know about the rest of the crew.
I was gonna say it's pretty much just.
It's just me.
Well, Dev's been there the whole. I mean, you've been there the whole time. Like, you're. Oh snap! Okay.
No, he hasn't.
You said it.
I mean, look. You look at my games. All of them were on PlayStation. Except
that's fair.
He barely plays PC.
I just feel like you encourage me to do it in your little way.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. He loves the PC.
I'm pushing PC all the way because
that's all I'm saying.
Best way to play.
He's peddling the hardware.
Well, and over the holidays, not to go too much longer on this, I kind of had like this, oh snap, I keep having to rebuy games for every different console, but I'm like, these games I'm picking up on PC will be around forever.
It'll be backwards compatible forever, and you can just
That really kind of locked in over the last little bit. So I'm double dipping. Yeah. So, and I mean, like, this is where I started. I started with PC gaming, but that's a sweet hangs conversation.
Sweet hangs.
Yeah.
Does that put me in the anchor spot?
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Okay, so let's close this out before we get into superlatives. And surprising nobody, my favorite game of the year, to echo some of the sentiments that Sean feels about Neon White, is Cult of the Lamb.
I agree.
Cult of the Lamb is my favorite game of the year, and it's really not close. It literally stands above the rest by a far margin. There are typically games every year, usually I think there's 4 or 5, that I get really enamored with to the point where I want hoodies and hats and merch. I used to call them canvas worthy. I haven't bought new canvas in a couple of years. My wall behind me that I always adore. Cult of the Lamb reached that territory, and I haven't had a game reach that. I feel like I haven't had a game reach that territory since maybe Ori. I absolutely adore Cult of the Lamb. It is. I felt like, and then from the get-go, there's a part of me that wishes it wasn't a Devolver game. It is such a Devolver-ass game, but there's a part of me that wishes it wasn't a Devolver game, so people maybe wouldn't dismiss the fact that I like it because it's a Devolver game. Like, I kind of wish that it was just something different, because I feel like this game was almost tailor-made for me. It has this Castle Crashers, Death's Door combat mechanic that you go out on runs, but then you come back and it has this city builder, base builder, which is a thing that I get extremely hooked by into games. And I think we were talking about this in the chat this week. There's a huge reason why I love Fable. And it's the fact that I can build up an economy and build up my house and build up my own things and marry people and have relationships. Like, I really dig that part of a game with the combat that I really like. And I'm not into rogues ever. And here I am playing. I've beaten Cult of the Lamb twice. Here I am playing this game. And when I got it, I didn't stop playing it for what felt like 2 weeks. I played it every day for like 10 hours a day. Just got completely hooked by it. And then on top of all of that, it is this very crude, go for it, cult-like horror where you get to sacrifice villagers and kill them and reuse their meat and be as evil as you want to be. And I made all of you that are on this podcast, villagers, and I took screens of you in all terrible ways. I mean, it's just everything that the game had was so for me. And unlike the other games on the list, unlike every game that I played this year, and this might be why I definitely like this year. I think this year had a great lineup of games quantity wise. Like, I enjoyed playing a lot of games. I didn't love games this year a lot, with the exception of Cult of the Lamb. I love Cult of the Lamb. It's one of my favorite games ever. That's why I bought the little lamb over there. That's why I've got a little lamb hoodie on. I mean, that's why I got all this stuff.
He started his own cult.
Canvas, yeah, on the side. I mean, yeah, praise be to the lamb. The lamb is just fucking rad, man. He's super cool, and I love that they did it. And yeah, and it is an indie game, and this is where I get in the past. I would have definitely weighed, like, is Cult of the Lamb a better game than some of these other games? Like, if we were actually weighing it against each other, it doesn't matter because I had so much more fun playing Cult of the Lamb than I have had playing anything else. And that's all that matters.
Video games are video games. Who the
I
hell
love
cares if it's
watching
indie,
people play Cult
AAA?
of the
Who
Lamb.
cares?
Oh yeah, it's very entertaining to watch what they do with their folks.
That
And you guys
watch my
genre, I
first
don't
5
like
minutes.
to play it, but I love to watch people play it.
And I love games. I don't want to say all of them, but I really do enjoy a game that has a morality system. And I love being able to push as evil as I can be. It's why I've always liked Fable. It's why I like Infamous. And I love seeing that
Play
other
Mass
people.
Effect.
I don't like Mass Effect. It's
Play
so
Mass
fun.
Effect, play it.
It's so fun watching other people that can't. I love seeing other people that they just can't go there, and I love being the guy that's like, no, off with their head.
See, I love the morality system if it fits with the character. Like, to me, a lot of times the morality system, the characters, it just doesn't feel like it fits. Like, that character doesn't seem like they'd actually be evil.
Well,
Cult
you
of the
mold
Lamb,
that
however,
character.
is
You
a
get to
That lamb-
decide if they are or not.
That lamb
I
felt
don't
great
think
to
so.
be evil,
To
man.
me, it
That
doesn't
lamb was
feel that way.
perfect.
The lamb is perfect because
It's got
so,
that South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yes.
there's me. It don't matter if
Woodland
there's a
critter folk.
morality system.
Yeah,
I
the
feel
woodland
bad if
critters.
I'm evil.
Oh, it's so good.
Me too, Haley. I can't do it either.
I don't
Anyway,
feel bad about being
we don't have
evil
to
at
keep
all.
going on them. So did it make anybody else's list?
It's one of my honorable mentions.
It made it to
Okay.
games I didn't get to play because I
All
lost
right,
my job.
let's start there. Well, let's do honorable mentions. We can do real fast with if you want. I have honorable mentions. I've shared my list the last 2 years. I kind of keep a running list that I've shared a few times on Twitter. So my
How
number
many do you
6
have?
through whatever was Fire Emblem Three Houses, Kirby, As Dust Falls, Valheim, and Dying Light 2.
Nice.
Who's
Anybody
going
else?
next?
Just go.
I'll go.
Oh, okay. Honorable mention: Callisto Protocol, Last of Us Part 1. Everybody knows I love Last of Us. Also, Dying Light 2. Really, really enjoyed my time with that. And that's what I got.
I only have two, just Revenge, Shredder's Revenge and Cult of the Lamb. Those are my only two honorable mentions.
Nice.
I don't have any honorable mentions just because all of my other favorite games that I played this year are ones that I would like to save for the blast from the past backlog games.
Cool.
Mm.
Delvin?
Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. I love that one. And I'd probably put... I'm trying to think of anything else. I said Stray, of course. Stray goes in my honorable mentions.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's about it, yeah.
Okay. Sean?
Nobody's gonna say anything about Vampire Survivors, you guys. Like
it's a
this
good one.
is it's
No.
an excellent
Good
game.
one. It
Oh,
is an
Rebecca,
excellent game.
I haven't played enough of it.
Didn't
Hang
play
on,
it,
let me
and
pull
I
up my
have
list.
no
Played it.
interest.
it's great, and it looks it just
My
at
friend
the-
really
on a
likes it.
surface level it looks stupid, and it is stupid, but it's like I actually get concerned with my health. Like I actually think it's adjusting my like hormone system, like my dopamine. Like it's all out of whack with this. Like,
I had it
I'm
at
concerned.
16.
Oh, it's to your point, Donnie, like you look at it and you're like, is this really like worth mentioning in a top like best games of the year? Because it looks so simple. It looks like it was made in about 3.5 minutes, but it's a lot more clever and well designed than it comes across. It's very
It's
addicting.
effective.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely keeps your attention. It's very effective. And that's like a lost art in video games. That's how video games started, And we have all these people like, I got to spend $400 million to build this thing. It's
Right.
100 hours. And Vampire Survivor is like, no, it's not. We're going to make you play 400 hours of this thing that we built in like a weekend.
Well, and similar to you with Call of Duty, like I really just played the campaign for Destiny 2, the Witch Queen this year. Like I feel like I'm missing, as always with Destiny. Like, I feel like I'm missing
Oh.
so much of that game, but I had a blast with that, man. Like, that game
Nice.
is people that Dev, you do a wonderful job of championing it. Like, it's just one of those, it's so good and has been so good for so long that you forget about it. Like, how does that happen? But definitely a shout out to Destiny 2. So good.
Shoot, I forgot to mention in my honorable mentions Modern Warfare 2. I
Cool.
finally got to play it. So
If you guys want to, every year, I think it's important, especially if you're rattling off a list. If listeners out there feel like, man, maybe they didn't talk about my game. If you want to, you don't have to. But if you want to cop to games you didn't get to, games you didn't play for whatever reason, you don't have to give justified reasons. But I like to do this. I think it's good. I wish other people that did lists would do it as well. So I'll start. I did not play Elden Ring, Scorn, Pentiment, God of War, Immortality, Shredders, Tiny Tina's. I didn't play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I didn't play Arceus. I didn't play Scarlet. I didn't play Life is Strange Remastered. If you remember, that game came out this year.
Ugh,
I didn't
don't
play,
that.
and I didn't play
Wow.
Mario Strikers.
no, Rebecca's right. The remastered Life is Strange games are
It's
a total
Kind
mess.
of a mess.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah,
do not
they're-
touch.
they're
It's so sad.
Just
It's so sad.
play the originals. If you want to go play Life is Strange, play the originals. The remasters
They're-
are a mess.
They're broken. Yeah.
So there's
It's
a lot
so
of good
sad.
games in there. If you feel like, man,
Someone in chat shouting out Tunic. Nobody brought up Tunic.
I will.
I played it. It was
Haven't
cool.
played it yet.
I enjoyed it for a minute.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't as much. So that's
But
why I didn't.
You knew you weren't going to enjoy it from jump.
I thought I might, but I
You
didn't.
fell off of it super hard when you saw what it was. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
never
when I got
mind.
to that boss,
This
it
ain't
was like,
Zelda Fox.
fuck this.
Games I didn't
So
get to.
hard.
Cult of the Lamb and also Midnight Suns.
Nice.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
only game that I didn't get to play that I planned on playing is Need for Speed Unbound.
Oh,
really
interesting.
That's the only one that I actually
I'm interested to
own.
hear what you think about it because, yeah, I was getting a lot of shit on it for telling you people what I thought about it.
Yeah, we gave you lots of shit for that because you just put every single.
I didn't put
racing game
every
under the
game
sun
above
on
it.
top. It was every game.
It's
It was every
mid
game.
racing game. It's mid
It
racing.
was everything above it.
I did not get to Shredder's Revenge or the Cowabunga collection. I would like to.
Nice. Anyone else?
my list is forever, man. All the games.
Yeah, all
I
the
like.
games.
I just
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
play all the
I mean,
games.
it's,
like,
and it's
That is you, Donnie, and Delvin. Y'all play and buy every fucking thing.
the reason that
I won 2 games. I won Need for Speed and Midnight Suns, and I haven't been able to put a minute into either one of those games.
Yeah,
I think
won
my
Need
favorite
for
thing
Speed
was
and
on
didn't get
stream
that
when you
far.
announced that you won the second one. You were like, I'm never gonna play both of these.
Man.
it's a reason why I like to bring this part up because yeah, I mean, nobody can play every game, and you shouldn't feel like you have to either. If you're not interested in, like, you shouldn't have to. But just openly telling folks like, hey, I didn't get to this or I wasn't interested in this. I think is a good way to start.
But I
You know
am
me,
interested
I
in
put
it.
the sum in play some video games.
Yeah, some video games. All right, so let's move on to our senior superlatives. I think it's a great way of, again, kind of rounding out the year for the games that maybe one of our favorites. And my first senior superlative is, what game is most likely to earn a replay from you in the next 5 years? I have 2, and I will mention Somerville and Bayonetta 2. Bayonetta 2 for technical reasons. I loved the game, and it probably would have been my favorites if it wasn't on Switch in the condition that it's on. I mean, it's rough to play, and it's an amazing game, and that's a complex thing to wrestle with. Do you keep playing it because you love the game, even though you're suffering through the condition that it plays in, or do you wait? And I chose to wait. I'm hoping that we have some sort of hardware boost where I can replay that game in the future in a better state than it's currently in. So, and Somerville just has a really neat story, and it's a cool little indie game, and it's just really different. So I'll definitely replay that, one day, kind of like I do with Ori or something like that. I'll just replay it one day because I want to revisit it. So those for me. Delvin, what game from 2022 do you think you'll replay in 5 years?
The Cowabunga collection.
Nice.
100%.
Because it's fun.
It's fun, such a great
Yeah.
collection. It has every version of the Ninja Turtle games you possibly want to play. Even the hard-ass NES one, I don't know why you want to play that.
That game, oh god,
Don't play that.
Don't save yourself.
That game is torture. But yeah,
Solid.
it's great. Fantastic.
I will just shout out the chat. Trey asked, did anybody play Atari 50? No, but I definitely shit on it.
I did.
on another
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
Shit
Like
all over it.
we definitely made fun of it. But it is on my
On this
wish list on
podcast.
Steam. I want to play it at some point. I actually do, because it does seem like a good time. But I definitely made fun of it.
Blips and bloops.
Blips and bloops.
I did. It's a good look into Atari and the history of Atari, and if for nothing else, it's a good, pretty decent documentary on Atari. So if
That's
you like
why I
Atari
want to get
stuff,
it. Yeah, that's
So
why I
just
want
watch
to
the
get it.
Try it.
documentary.
I'm waiting to get on the cheap. I just want to get on the cheap. That's all.
Yeah, just get it
$2.
Haley,
$2.
game most likely to earn a replay.
From 2022, within the next 5 years, The Quarry.
Oh no.
I love Corey. I
Corey's
should have
fun.
used that as an honorable mention.
Like I, as people well know, I was very upset that the monster design is the same as all their other ones. But I love the actors that are in the game. I think that the amount of choices you can make and the endings you can get is well with it. And I'll replay it at some point in the next 5 years.
Hell yeah.
it's literally
Solid.
the same monster in almost every one of their games.
Yeah.
It drove me insane. That's why I didn't pick it. I'm like, nah. That's why I picked the other one instead, because that one has completely different.
I still hated the fact there was an
antagonist.
entire section where you're locked up against your will, and your choice to relieve that situation is to go back to your cell. That is just fucking asinine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, it's
that is
so
that is a that
bizarre.
is a choice.
They're like, there's all these
They're like-
doors and windows, but let's go back in the cell. That
Go
I
back
don't
to jail. Like,
Yeah.
all right,
What?
fuck
Yeah.
that.
Really tough game to come to grips with. But okay. Sean?
Again, my first playthrough ended with everybody alive and made Donnie very mad.
That's not the point of playing the game.
Everyone
You're-
died
the-
for me.
It's a horror movie. You're
Everyone.
trying to kill everybody. That's the fun part. And that was the other thing
Ariel
I hated
Winter's
about that game is I
character.
tried to kill people. I'm like hitting their heads and they're falling down and they still lived. I'm like, what
I think
the
that-
fuck?
That's
my
another reason why I didn't
favorite-
like the Quarry as much as Devil
It's-
Within.
Yeah,
Because in
well,
the
I'll
Quarry,
get-
you
I'll-
have to act.
I will get
try
to
to
the
kill them.
quarry shortly. Sean,
Going in the bargain bin.
It's funny that you say play a game and try and kill everyone, because I wasn't going to say this until you mentioned that. As Dusk Falls, you can kill everyone,
can,
and it's
yeah.
great. And
Yes,
on
As
this
Dusk Falls
note,
is really
a
good.
replayable game, man. If you think you've seen it all, holy crap, dude! Like there is
Definitely have it.
so many endings, so many different paths that you can take. That game is good for that reason. I pause. I kind of stop a little short, going like, that game's great. Everybody should play it. But if you're interested in different endings and having agency on what happens to people, that game is pretty interesting. Got to give a shout out to my number one pick overall, Neon White. I think is replayable in the next 5
Sure.
years. And right along the lines of Delvin, I think Ninja Turtles, but I'll say Shredder's Revenge. Like just get on with 6 people. It's madness and it's super fun. And that game is,
do that
unless
on
we get something
Switch.
else in the next couple of years, which I'll play that, I guess. I can imagine us getting another Shredder's Revenge 2 or something like that, but game's good.
Killer.
Also, shout out to the final song in the game. Awesome.
Yo, yeah. So
Wu-Tang's
good.
for the children.
Yes.
Dex, what are you going to replay?
So I think for this one, I just want to approach it from a different angle. The most likely I will probably pick up and play again in 5 years would be Pokemon Legends Arceus, just because I feel like I'm going to miss the catching style of that game, because I don't think Pokemon will go back to it. I was disappointed that they didn't include the catching style in Scarlet and Violet. So I think I won't necessarily start it from the beginning, but I think I'll pick up and play it a little bit just to re-experience how that game works.
Solid. I feel very similar about Pokemon Let's Go. Every time I feel like in a
Yeah, that's
Pokemon
another
movie,
good example.
I kind of want to go back and play it just because it's different. And yeah, I like the game
Yeah.
a lot. You, as you already know.
Exactly.
Dev?
Ragnarok when it
Destiny
comes
2.
to PC, and probably Sifu.
Sifu.
Okay.
Solid.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next senior superlative is what games are most likely to end up in the bargain bin? And do I have a list? This year I had a lot of misses, and we'll just start with the trashiest of the trash, and that was the chant. The chant just sucked. It just was not good.
Yeah.
Next, though, would be the Quarry. I definitely did not like that game at all.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Switch Sports was a huge miss for me in so many ways. And then this one, which I'll probably talk about in further detail at some point, but as much as it hates for me, I hate to say it, probably Sports Story.
Sad.
No.
It's not very good, guys. It's not great.
Yeah, that's what I've seen everyone say is that like they diversified the.
I'll
sports
talk
team.
about it on PSVG. We don't have to break it all down here, but yeah, just it's a miss. It's a hard miss for me, and I feel like this
Yes.
year I had a lot of hard. There were a lot of games I was really excited for, only to get them and just be let down. And
That
Sports
was last
Glory
year for you too,
is
Donnie.
just a cherry on top. I have waited for this game forever. It was like my most
Yeah.
anticipated game forever, and it just is. And even for like not even the glitches and stuff, like just the game. Just even if it was good, it's just not as good as Golf Story. It's just not. Yeah, I'll talk about it another time. It's a miss, hard miss. So, what about you guys? Most likely end up in the bargain bin, Delvin.
Y'all really want me to say
You know
this?
Delvin likes everything.
No.
Oh no, I know what he's gonna say.
Well, the chant is one of them.
I know what he's
That
gonna
game
say.
Sucked.
Can we guess? Can I guess?
Yeah,
You can
Yeah.
get it, 'cause you know
Batman.
what it is.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say too.
You are goddamn right. The game that I had to be talked off the ledge by Dev, like, Delvin, stop playing this game. And he was fucking right. This game fucking took my soul, broke my heart. I'm sitting here yelling at the fucking game. Why don't you play right? No. Fuck this game.
You were
I'm
so
still
excited
angry
for
about
it. Speaking of being so excited, you were super hyped for that game all year.
Oh,
Yeah.
what happened?
We'll
to
see if
Sean?
we'll see if we
Pretty
get Sean
mad.
back.
He's so
Oh.
mad that I talked about Gotham Knights. He's like, fuck this. He left.
Oh,
He quit the show.
I
anyways,
just want to be closer to Dev.
Should I also chime in and say that I would agree that while I loved Gotham Knights, it's definitely a bargain bin game. Don't pay full
Yes.
price for it.
Damn,
It's a flea
XP
market
just
game.
trashing this mother. Just-
It's a flea market game.
they were just tag teaming Freebird rule on this mother.
If you see this game at the flea market for $5, run away from it.
Run.
Don't buy it.
Wow.
Run. Don't walk.
Damn.
Wow.
Fuck this
Okay.
game. They've killed the DCEU worse than The Rock did.
Is that possible?
End it.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe sure didn't change.
It changed, all right. Maybe want to get the fuck out of there. Get this shit off my screen.
Haley,
I'm
do you
good.
have another bargain bin? candidate?
No, I just Gotham Knights.
Bex?
I would like to echo Switch Sports. What a terrible
Yeah.
game. But what might even be worse is Mario Strikers Battle.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even try that one. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So sad. So sad.
Damn.
Dev?
I only play gyms, so no, I don't have
Yeah.
anything.
Tens.
Figured.
Only
Got
play
it.
gyms, baby.
Sean?
I was gonna say Strikers, but since Bex mentioned it, Horizon. I'm just kidding.
Motherfucker.
Just kidding.
Fuck you, Sean. Fuck you.
Keep this man off my
I'm
show.
just kidding.
I love the commitment. I like it. All right, our next superlative is most likely to have a sequel that you want to play as soon as possible. And
Horizon.
for me was Modern Warfare 3, Callisto Protocol, and As Dusk Falls. I'd be super excited for any three of those to come out. And I'm sure
Nice.
we're definitely getting Modern Warfare 3. So I know that's
We are
coming.
not. They've actually come out and said they won't, and that's why there's campaign DLC.
Nah, they're going to do something.
Doubt it.
Corporate
Yeah, I'm not
talk,
buying that
Haley.
at all. Yeah, I'm not
I know
buying
it's
that at all.
corporate
don't
talk.
believe
I
you.
just like to call.
I'm not
people
buying
out.
that at all. But yeah, Callisto Protocol and As Dusk Falls. And As Dusk Falls sequel would get me legitimately hyped. That was a really great game. I definitely enjoyed it. So let's start with Sean.
Sequel for I'm going to break the rules
You want a
maybe a little
sequel?
bit here. I want Halo campaign DLC.
Infinite. That works.
I want Halo Infinite. I want what's next for Halo.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Dev.
Horizon, duh.
I knew that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better
I
tidy
also
that.
play.
It's like the Ryan Johnson of the series. Holy crap! Have to retcon a bunch of that. Sorry, my mic was still
Don't you
on.
mean Halo?
Sorry,
Are you
my
talking
bad.
about
My bad. My
Horizon
mic
or
was still
Halo?
on.
I think you're talking about Halo.
I mean, if something
That's
needs to be
what I'm talking
retconned, it might.
Campaign
It-
good.
Halo.
it-
Campaign's
no,
good.
no. If something needs to be retconned, it's definitely Halo.
Tell me you didn't play Halo campaign without telling me.
Ooh, I played.
Oh,
it.
I've played Halo
I played
Infinite
it.
Come out this year or
campaign.
last year, 'cause
It
that can go in the bargain bin. That's definitely in the bargain bin.
Damn. I like the
Bargain
word.
bin is called Game Pass.
Horizon 2 definitely sets up Horizon 3. So there
Yes,
will be
yes, it
a
does.
Horizon 3.
Yeah.
So I get it.
I'm glad you caught that shot.
I caught it. I just choose not to acknowledge it. 'Cause it's
You got me.
wrong. It's wrong. Next,
Bargain's $15 a month, man.
Splatoon 4.
No, I don't generally like sequels. I like new games. I think the only one in my top 5 that I said here that a sequel could apply to is Stray. So let's take a Stray 2. I don't know. I don't think I would even want a Stray 2. I think I would want something new from that developer. That's their first outing. I want to see what else they can do.
You don't think they'll ever go? I know you just said this, but you don't think they'll return to Arceus and do like an Arceus formula on a different Pokemon game?
I think they will, but I don't think
me
that's
too.
a sequel. I don't consider that to be a sequel. I
That's
consider that to be another entry in the series.
Fair. Haley?
I would agree with you with Modern Warfare. I agree with Deb with Horizon, and I'm also going to say Callisto Protocol.
Nice. Solid. All right, Delvin. You're the anchor. Bring us home.
I'm gonna say something surprising. Sonic Frontiers.
Ooh, I like it.
I think what they have with the first one is so cool. I would like to see what they could do if they get another one and polish it up and touch it up just as much. I think it's a really great return to Sonic. I enjoyed my time playing it, and I think I'm gonna play it some more. But I would like to
I
see
think they could
how simple they
incorporate the actual levels, like the Sonic levels that are in Frontiers, better than they currently
Yes.
have them. And I think they're definitely overlooked because of the world. Everybody just focuses like on the overworld. The levels are really good. Like if you're into like the Sonic level stuff, the Sonic Frontiers levels are great actually. But they're like in this weird, almost kind of like a Zelda shrine kind of way where you got to go get them. It'd be a little better if maybe they could incorporate them. Yeah, if you could just incorporate them into the world better, I think it would make a little more sense.
I really didn't want to play Frontiers. I wanted to watch my son play it, but it scared him, so I'll probably never see this game.
Bummer.
It scared him.
It scared him.
Yeah,
Wow.
the way some of the characters look, he was like, I don't like this. So
Honestly,
he's
that's
little.
valid.
Yeah, he's little. Okay, our next one was this. Okay, so this used to be called the Game Pass Game of the Year for us, but I've changed it, slightly altered it. This is going to be our best subscription game. Because subscriptions are all the rage, right? We're talking about this all the time at EA Play, the PlayStation, 18 different plans, and of course the king of the mountain, Game Pass. And we're always getting these games, that we subscription plans do. So I always like to shout out, like, what was your favorite game that you got from that investment every year? Now, the spirit of the superlative is not just like, they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, so that was your game of the year. It's like, what did you play via your subscription that either surprised you probably wasn't going to play or going to buy? It's kind of like that in the spirit, but you don't have to adhere to it. You can just shout out whatever your favorite subscription game. So my answer, and I've got 2, is As Dusk Falls. I probably wouldn't have bought that, and I played it and loved it. And to shout out a game we've talked about a bit here, Stray. I got Stray through PlayStation Plus and played it all the way complete to the end. I was very happy that I was a subscriber, and that was a great perk for being a subscriber. So those are my 2.
I'll make mine
It was
short and sweet 'cause it's the
PlayStation
same
and the
thing.
trash.
It's the same thing.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
Nice.
Exact same thing.
I still have not played As Dusk Falls, but my subscription thing is just Stray, because I did not like High on Life. So
Oh man, Bex, did you have a subscription game? You get anything on NSO?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not in the spirit of the top of the what
That's
you
fine.
described, but because I would have bought this anyway. But I am playing the Mario Kart DLC waves for free
Yeah.
as a result of
Nice.
the subscription, so
Yeah.
I guess that counts.
Okay.
I
that's
have a
good.
lot of
Ton of
fun every
content.
time they put new tracks on.
Nice.
I got nothing.
Okay.
Everything that came to PS Plus, I either had already bought and played, or I didn't care to play, and I don't have a Game Pass sub, so yeah, I got nothing.
Fair. Sean?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Metal Hellsinger is a great game that's on Game Pass. Its soundtrack is powered by your gun. I think that's amazing. This other game that I wanted to mention, I played this year, but it came to Game Pass last year. It's still there. Life is Strange: True Colors is
great game.
excellent,
Great game.
really, really good. So I probably wouldn't have bought it, even though I like the Life is Strange games and I like those types of games. But it was there, so I played it there. Played it on cloud. Played it everywhere. The game was really good.
The next one I had was Best Dressed. Was the game that you thought had the best visuals this year. If you want to shout one out, mine was Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol and Modern Warfare 2.
I have 3: Modern Warfare 2, Callisto, and Last of Us.
Anybody else have anything they want to shout out?
Live
Modern
Alive is
Warfare
the
2.
most beautiful game that came out this year.
Nice. Anybody else?
Modern
I think-
Warfare 2 and God of War.
I say Elden Ring and Neon White.
Cool.
Best dressed.
Yeah, Modern Warfare.
All right. Next is I don't have an answer for this. So I'll throw this to you guys that do the multiplayer stuff more than me. Best click. Best multiplayer game.
Splatoon
What
3.
did you enjoy playing with your friends the most?
I haven't
Splatoon
played
3.
with friends. I've just played by myself. Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer.
Yeah, I don't play with friends, so
Among Us.
that's why I'm just admitting. I'm just adhering from voting. I got nothing.
Among Us.
Splatoon.
Among Us.
We
Among
had
Us
we
is
had
really the only game I play with anybody.
So I tried to play
No,
Splatoon with friends, and
actually-
I had a ton
actually-
of disconnects.
Actually,
Like the multiplayer part was the reason why I ended up trading it in. And I was like, this never seems to work for me.
let me change my answer. Halo Infinite, because I played it with Sean.
heck yes. We
There you
played
go.
at a Waffle House. We had a
yeah, we
divorce
did.
slayer
We
at a
did
Waffle
play
House.
at a Waffle House.
That was great. At Extra Life, we had 60 people playing in a game of Fall Guys, and that was excellent. Don't forget about Fall
Fall
Guys.
Guys
Oh,
is so
Fall
good.
Guys was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot
Was it
about that.
Wow.
No, that's a
Um,
fun game. I totally forgot about it.
Our next one, and almost our penultimate, the blast from the past. And I just to take a moment that for me this year, this is a big one for me because I played Cyberpunk this year and I played Valhalla this year. And over Christmas break, I beat GTA 5 this year. And so much of my time, like if I was building a pie chart of the games that I played this year, so much of my pie chart is from games that didn't even come out this year.
Yeah,
That I played.
a
I
lot of
played
mine,
Valhalla
too.
so much this year. There's so many PSVG podcasts of me just talking about Valhalla
I put
all damn time.
I put an additional 170 hours into Valhalla this
Yeah,
year.
and Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
like everybody was over Cyberpunk, and then it, it got all patched up and everything. And I think I started my year playing Cyberpunk, and I had just a great
I'm
month.
still
with Cyberpunk.
playing Cyberpunk.
So Blast from the Past would hit home for me this year. It was a great year, and I feel like the more that I've adopted PC, the more that comes in because I'm either rebuying games and replaying games or re-experiencing games. Like I'm playing right now, I'm playing Metro, and I'm playing a super ultra everything. It's been PC enhanced with all the ray tracing and everything, and I still don't necessarily like love the game, like the dialogue and the voice and everything, but it is gorgeous, like
Yeah.
jaw-droppingly
Yeah.
gorgeous to look at. So I'm having fun, running around shooting monsters. So, but yeah, for me, my blast from the past games, Valhalla and Cyberpunk. So, what about you guys?
Valhalla, Cyberpunk, Witcher, which I'm playing now.
I imagine a lot of people are about to play that.
Again, you should play it up until you meet Triss.
I was going to, and then I started playing GTA 5. Like
Yeah.
every time I feel like I want to play, I just can't press the start button.
Hey,
Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again,
One day.
I press
again-
the start button for you. Don't do it.
I just don't know if
I
I'm into the
didn't-
Witcher thing. I don't know. Like there's
I
like
couldn't get into it.
I'm not. I don't feel like compelled to. I don't know. I'll try. We'll try it one day, and we'll see.
yeah, there's loads of games that are. I don't have like a backlog list. I just play whatever I want
Fine.
whenever I feel like it. But
It's just good to
I'll-
remind listeners that they
Yeah.
don't always have to play everything that just came out.
oh yeah.
Like Sean, he started the year with God of War. Like if you miss something, like just enjoy playing a game. If you love something in the past, I played Clock Tower again this year.
Oh
I got
yeah,
a stupid cloud deck, and I'm playing all these
Heck,
ROMs.
Alan Wake. I
been-
played Alan Wake this year. I mean, it
been a
got
blast.
remastered this year, but like, I love Alan Wake. I still actually need to go back and play the DLCs. I've never done that.
Yeah.
So
Anybody else?
Yes. I cannot gatekeep this game anymore. I played Four Swords Anniversary Edition, the Zelda game for the Game Boy. Well, it was originally from the Game Boy Advance, but they released an Anniversary Edition on the DSi or something. It was like free for a couple days. This game is like so gatekept. It is so much fun. For the number of times that I have talked about wanting a Zelda Maker game,
Yeah.
this is the closest thing that exists to it because I didn't realize that the levels are all randomized. So every time you play it, you're kind of playing through different routes every time that that you go through it. And there's a massive amount of nostalgic post-game content. So after you beat the game, you get to play in the styles of other 2D Zelda games. And I didn't know that. And it just kept giving and giving and giving. Every time I thought it was over, it's like, oh, here's a little bit more content. Here's a little bit more. And nobody ever talks about this game. The original, you could only play with 4 people. So it's a pain in the butt to do crimes to play this game just because it's a DSi game. It's not a DS game. Or DSware or whatever it's called. But if you can find an emulator and find a ROM, play this game if you are a top-down Zelda fan. Holy crap. I need to make a video or something explaining how awesome this game is, because as a big Zelda fan, I had no clue.
It was one of the first games I put on my 3DS when I hacked it.
It's
so
amazing.
I can back you up in there. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Really good. Anyone else?
I barely have time to play new
Yeah,
games.
you never replay
I
games.
can't get into the backlog.
Dev's
It's
not about that
impossible.
life.
Nah, Doc. I did follow your lead and started GTA 5 again because that game for me is always going home.
Yeah.
It's the LA experience.
I'm really happy that I rolled credits on it. It took a long time,
you-
but I finally got there.
Did you play it on PC or did you play it on Xbox?
Play on PC.
Which ending, Donnie?
It doesn't
A, B,
have
or
all the
C?
ray tracing and stuff on PC.
So it doesn't. I killed I looked at the endings before I decided to make the choice, and I killed off one of the characters.
Oh,
doing the opposite way.
option.
You can do that.
I'm not gonna
Neither
lie to
did
you.
I.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've never played
I
it.
was a
haven't
little
played it to the end.
upset. I was a little upset because I feel like the way the story was going, I feel like everybody should have died at the end, and that's not.
I mean, that's that's my favorite part
and
about.
I was a little upset about that. I was
that's
like,
my favorite part about option C is it makes you think that everyone's gonna fight it, and then it's the complete opposite.
But I'm very happy that I decided to go back to it, and I had a lot of fun. I had literally once I got better from being sick, I had a lot, and I didn't even talk about it a whole lot in Discord. I didn't even do Discord a whole lot while we were on break. I literally was just in Grand Theft Auto, listening to Danny McBride on the radio.
Oh.
See, this is a game that I
love
would
the
like
talk
to
show
see how
channel.
you play it because I feel like we play the game completely different.
Well, that would just be par for the course for us too.
No, but it's less about how the game plays. It's just like our
I rampage.
experiences with life.
Constantly everything. Archer
For me,
rampage.
That I can see that. So you probably really love playing with Trevor.
Blow up all the cars, throw all the grenades, big explosions, lots of guns, lots of bullets.
I need a mod where I just play as Franklin.
Franklin, best character.
No,
just-
Trevor's
it's
best
just-
character.
It's just Los Angeles for me. That's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah, and it is
Like the
definitely
music,
enjoyed the Hollywood part
everything.
of it. Yeah, it's very good. Anybody else?
Yes, I spent most of this year playing old games, and probably because I spent a lot of this year talking to you, Donnie. Like 4 hours. We talk.
Well,
a
yeah,
lot.
we did a lot of hours.
We do a podcast, and because you do this a lot, and I'm glad that this is a category to talk about. But I rolled credits on Gears of War 4,
Yes,
which is directly linked to you. I gained a whole new appreciation for that game. It's great. Replayed. I do this probably once a year. A game called Fury. It's a boss rush game by the Game Bakers. It is excellent. Black Mesa, the Half-Life remake. I played most of these games I played on my birthday, actually. And the last one I'll shout out here is Rise of the Tomb Raider. And Rise of the Tomb Raider
Love
is
that game.
very
Love that game.
good. And it's one, I've replayed a bunch of games this year. And I was talking about this earlier this week, how when I finally put down Rise of the Tomb Raider, I did all the DLC and everything, and I finally put it down, and I had this almost like a midlife crisis kind of thing. Like I was very aware of my own mortality putting this game down. Like that's probably the last time I'll ever play that game, like ever.
Wow.
And that sucks. Like, and now I don't want to do that. Now I want to pick it up again next year. But
Sure.
like, you can't play everything forever. But that was definitely a moment I realized as soon as I close that down, that the next time I fire up my Xbox or whatever it is, it's going to be a different game. And what are the chances I go back and play this
Did you
one?
love it?
One of my favorites.
Or did you?
Oh,
I love it. Yeah,
So
I
that's-
really love it.
That's what I was going to say. When I finish a game that I really love, I always think to myself, I'm like, I'll play it again one day.
Yeah.
I just got to give enough years to where it fades out of memory. And then I'm like, I've got a handful of games right now that I want to go back to. That's why I'm playing Metro.
Yeah.
Like one day I'm going to replay Dying Light
Mm-hmm.
because I love that game, and I'm just like waiting for the story to fade out of memory, and then I'll go back. So yeah, I'm that way with games I love. Now, games I like, there are games that I just complete.
Yeah,
like I just crushed through it and I'm done, and I'll never play that game again. But if I
this wasn't the first time I played it. Like I played it a number of times
love
before.
a game, I'm like, I'll be back. I'll see you again.
Yeah. Rise is the second one. Rise is chat was asking about it.
Yeah, and Rise is
Shadow's the third one.
Rise
Shadows.
is the best. It's Shadows is not good. It's not.
I think it's fine. It's my least favorite in the trilogy.
It's a good game. It's a good Tomb Raider game. It just has way too much climbing.
But the first one, Rise is the best, and the first one's better than
Rise
Shadow.
is the best for sure.
Rise is the second one. There's the Tomb Raider 2013.
Yeah, that one's better than Shadow.
2013 is definitely better than Shadows. Yeah,
it's better than Shadow.
Yeah.
Okay,
but whatever.
Last superlative is our prom court. So the way that I'm putting this together is I want your favorite dev of the year and your favorite publisher of the year. So for me, I'm going to take FromSoft with Elden Ring. I think it's my favorite dev of the year, and I would give my favorite publisher of the year to PlayStation. If I remind you, published Turismo, Horizon, Tilu Remastered, did all the PC stuff. Had a hell of a year. Really good year for a publisher. You don't have to answer if you don't.
I don't have an answer.
Square Enix and Nintendo.
Nice.
I'm gonna say my favorite publisher,
Square
Microsoft.
Enix, NFTs and everything, huh? Selling off all the devs.
It
doesn't matter, Rebecca. I'm taking I am contractually obligated to PSVG.
The games that I like weren't NFTs.
I know.
I know.
Chrono Cross and Live Alive.
Don't take it personally.
It's just
I'm
a joke.
Throwing stones.
They didn't do it in 2022. Maybe 2023. I won't like them so much.
They did do it in 2022.
I just I'm contractually obligated to shit on Square Enix at every opportunity. Don't take it personally.
That's okay. I don't like that about them either.
It's a personal vendetta. They sold off Crystal and everybody, and then they did NFTs, but nobody cares because they make Final Fantasy.
I wouldn't care if they didn't make Final Fantasy.
Delvin?
Yeah. Microsoft. And you know why? Because they have been pissing Sony off all goddamn year, and it's the best.
That's the story of the year. Yeah.
That is the story of the year.
It's hard to come. They didn't publish much. It was a light year over there.
They bought everything, so I don't care.
They did.
That's what makes them.
That is one thing they've got going for them. That's like their claim to fame. Like we didn't release games.
Fuck it.
We bought a lot.
We bought a lot. We ain't got to publish shit, but we own it.
Nice.
I like that energy. Like fuck it.
Okay.
Sony's mad, so fuck it. I appreciate that.
All right. So we're 2 hours, so we're starting to round out of here. I'm telling, or Sean, do you have some?
I was just gonna say Monolith Soft and Annapurna.
Okay. What's Annapurna game?
Annapurna.
Neon White.
Yeah.
Neon White especially. But I feel like take any year, Annapurna is right there.
They're really good.
Devolver's very popular as well, but I think Annapurna deserves a shout out for sure.
I usually buy everything that the Annapurna logo is on. They're really good. Rounding out, I want to talk about next year and your favorite things that you're looking forward to. So we're going to call this our 2023 class reunion. So everybody, just what are the things? I have a list of games, and there's like 60. I'm not going to read them all. So I'm hoping that you guys check off some of these. But I did my homework. I will tell you this. I'm very excited for 2023.
Yeah.
Like I am personally very excited for 2023. I don't know how I'm going to afford all these games.
Gets delayed into 2024.
I think a lot of this is actually going to come out. But yes, what's got you guys most excited for next year?
I'll start. So Spider-Man 2, Jedi Survivor, Diablo 4, the Lollipop Chainsaw remaster, if that actually comes out.
Yeah. Do you think that's going to come out?
I don't know, to be honest, because we haven't heard shit since they posted.
Let me interrupt you a little bit, because I have a list of games, but I also have a list of games that I just want to know. Do you think they're coming in 2023? So let's start there, and you guys just give me yays or nays. So I don't want to make this an hour-long thing. Do you think Hellblade comes next year?
Yes.
Nope.
2023, you mean?
Nope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Holiday.
No.
I kind of think it.
I think it does.
Too. I hope it does, but I'm going to vote no. Lollipop Chainsaw, I'm going to vote no.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer because I want it to come out. Like I'd
Sure.
love to be able to.
Yeah, we want every game to come out.
Well, no. But I'd love to be able to replay it. I haven't played it in so long.
Except for me and Final
it's not
Fantasy.
that
We want
compact,
every game
so-
to come out. Do you think Alan Wake 2 comes out next year?
Yes.
I don't.
No, not
Okay.
confident.
I don't think anybody knows Slitterhead or Stellar Blade, right? Is it just me?
Nope.
Okay.
No,
Persona 3 remake.
no.
No.
Yes.
I'm gonna say yes.
Interesting.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
No.
I'm gonna
No.
eternally say no. Yeah.
That game's never coming out.
I'm not sure that game is even like that game could be canceled for all I know. This is an interesting one that I really want to know your guys' thoughts. Do you think we see Dragon Age Dreadwolf next year?
Yes.
Or
No.
this year, I guess it's this year.
We'll see it. Will it come out? Who fucking knows?
Not
I
coming
don't
out.
think it comes out either. Does Tim Surrey's The Last Night finally come out?
No.
Who?
No.
You
Yeah, I
should
don't
look
know
it
that
up.
Donnie,
You
you're
look it
naming
up.
a bunch of games I've never heard of.
Well, I'm giving you homework to do. Go look them up. Playdead's
The
next
last
game.
night was shown like
Playdead's next game?
Playdead.
No.
Limbo, Inside, Playdead's next game. Do you think it comes out next year?
Cocoon. That's supposed to come out.
I think it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And
supposed to come out.
do you think something from idsoft comes out next year?
Quake, give it to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I think it's revealed. I actually think we talked about that on the Xbox Drive. I think it's revealed. I don't
Okay.
think it's coming out.
Last one for me, and if you guys want to shut one out, you can. But last one for me is Fable, which I will say no.
Not a
Yeah,
chance.
I don't think Fable's coming
Yeah,
out
not a chance.
this
Okay.
year.
So now let's get back on track. What are you excited for? What do you want to come? Like, what
Tears
are
of
you
the
excited for?
Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom, of course. We got you
Uh,
excited.
Tears of the Kingdom.
So, Rebecca, I'm not sure if you listened to PSVG. At this point, I am currently planning on skipping Tears of the Kingdom. And it's like the
Oh
first
my
Zelda game
God. Come
in-
on.
20 years that I'm not planning on playing
Why?
because I want
The
to play it on.
Switch,
I want
it
to play it on
sucks.
better hardware. Like, if I
Replay
can,
it on better hardware.
if I can, if it's going to come to Switch 2 or whatever, like I kind of want to wait and play it there for the first time.
He's gotten used to just waiting for things on PC, so it's par for the course now.
You
Yeah.
are like on some kind of weird drug because you're gonna not play on day one the Zelda game with the longest development cycle just so that like you could experience it maybe 2 years later on better hardware.
Actually, he's gonna play it so he doesn't have to play it at 15 frames a second.
And I mean,
Breath of
and
the
thing
Wild
is,
didn't
there's
even
so
suffer
many
from
games
that.
that are going to be out. It's okay.
I wasn't calling Breath of the Wild out. I am calling literally
Yeah.
every other release the Switch
just-
had this year.
I'm in a weird place with Switch where at this point I'm kind of like punting on the year, and it's not. It's just I feel like I'm with the Switch like where I was at the end of the Wii. Like I just kind of
Okay.
moved on.
Miss out on the game of the year of 2023.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
That is very valid.
Go
And
enjoy your other games.
It's
Oh,
killing
But it's
Jack
okay
because Jack's
because
gonna have
even
to
if
buy it
it's
on his
game
own.
of the
or something.
year for 2023, he can still play it another year. You don't have
Yeah.
to play it when it comes out. Like
Yeah.
Sean, he played
Okay.
God of War 2018 in 2022. It's all right.
That's true.
And maybe the hype.
Six
Like,
frames
here's
a
the
second.
thing. Here's you know what? Let me put in a caveat because I'll give myself some room to walk this back. If the reviews come out and like technically it's really strong and it's really nice, then I'll consider it. But if it's like
Okay.
what we expect it to be, like what I expect it to be, I'm
I think
gonna wait.
I think
I'm gonna
Donnie
wait.
and I are expecting Tears of the Kingdom to perform exactly the same way.
Yeah, if it's like Age of the Calamity, I'm gonna wait.
yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
It's not the same kind of game as Age of Calamity at
that's
all.
not what we mean.
Yeah.
We're talking about performance.
No, I know. I am very well aware, Haley, but guess what? It's not the same type of game, as in the demands are not the same. If it's similar to Breath of the Wild,
Get him started.
okay, you get some slowdown in Korok Forest. You're really going to not play the game of the year of 2023 just because you're getting some slowdown in some
This
parts.
is why
We
this
don't
is
even
why
know that or not. You haven't even seen the game yet. How can
I'm
you be
so sorry,
sure?
Rebecca. I'm just being honest with you. This is why I wanted to
You
put this
haven't
out there
even
because
seen anything like that yet.
Yarden says
How can you make that decision if you haven't
Yarden
even seen
says
any gameplay?
he bets that I buy it and play it on a new OLED system.
I
So
bet
we'll
you do
see.
too.
We'll see. We'll see.
You're gonna see everybody else having so much fun, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I'm missing out."
Don't you
Yeah.
already have the OLED?
I have an OLED,
That's
Yep.
what I thought.
but it's not the Tears of the Kingdom OLED that's been rumored.
Yeah, Yarden, he's
Oh,
gonna
I
buy the
didn't know there
fancy
was a limit
OLED
then.
and then
I
sell
had
it
no
a month
Definitely
later.
not. I'm absolutely not buying that. No, 100% I'm not. But we'll see. I'm just pointing out there. Yeah, at this point, like and it's not just Tears of the Kingdom. Like I'm not doing it. Like I'm skipping. At this point, I'm skipping Fire Emblem. I'm skipping Kirby. Like I'm just kind of out until we get better hardware.
Sea of Stars is my next day one. Very excited for. I'm that game looks beautiful. It looks amazing. The same composer as Chrono Trigger. The game is already finished. The story of it, they're adding more to it for it to come out in 2023. That is going to be my second favorite game of the year.
Okay.
Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Yes.
Nice.
On my list.
Yeah.
Good call.
I'm also looking forward to Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life remake, just because that game was very special to my childhood, and it is just a good time.
Kind of cheating, but Fallout 4 Next Gen Edition.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm gonna give Fallout 4 another try when that comes out. Still don't think I'm gonna. I just don't think I'm into the Fallout. It's like
Zelda.
Fallout.
You're going Fallout.
It's like
and not
Mass Effect
Zelda?
with me. I'm just not into it.
Redfall, Starfield.
Hey,
You
just
know.
naming all the Game Pass games. Come on, guys. Delvin,
I'm
Dev,
excited
what?
for stuff.
Excited. Get
I'm
in
reading
here.
them. Forspoken, definitely. I'm waiting on that one.
Okay.
That was good. Atomic Heart, of course.
Yes.
I'm waiting on.
Yeah, that one looks good.
Now
looks
we're
amazing.
talking way up there.
The Plucky Squire. Is
Yes.
an indie I'm looking
Nice.
forward
Now
to.
we're talking.
This is all this year.
Yes.
Like, let's all quit our jobs. We're all quitting.
I don't have to quit shit.
Gotta
Haley
have one
already
to
quit.
quit
She's
it.
ahead of the game.
I didn't quit. I got laid off.
All right. Since I'm just gonna throw out a lot more. Russell Quest, Fatal Frame, Silent Hill, Oxenfree 2, the AEW
Oxenfree,
game,
that game's never coming
Fight
out.
forever, baby.
the EA Sports golf game, Forza, Angerfoot, Wolf
Yeah.
Among Us 2, Resident Evil 4 remake, Assassin's
Yep.
Creed Mirage,
Yep.
Yep.
Starship Troopers Extermination,
Yes.
the Gray Hill Incident, System Shock replaced to
Yeah,
add
you
on
finally
top
named
of
one that I care
everything
about.
else that you guys have.
Theater
Those-
Rhythm, Final Bar Lion. I'm very excited for.
I didn't know that was coming out. Nice.
Yeah, it's coming
Theater
out
Rhythm
next
of
month.
Mars.
Hold
Very
on.
cool.
No kidding. Oh my gosh.
I'm excited for that one.
Those are all the games I'm planning on. All the games I just read, in addition to the ones that you already said. So like Dead Island, Dead Space, the other one's Diablo.
For sure,
I'm planning on buying all of those games. Those are the games that are like
We
gonna
need our
buy
jobs
them.
back.
Yeah, we need the jobs. Don't quit the jobs. Replaced is at the top of my list yard. Yeah. It's
Oh,
really,
man.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Replaced
And Wanted Dead.
and-
Wanted Dead. I've been talking about for like
So-
2+ years now. I can't wait to play the game.
I don't know if this comes out this year, but I kind of hope it does. Avowed. I want Avowed.
Not a chance.
I think that has a better chance than
Hellblade. It has a better chance than Hellblade. I'll tell you
kinda
that much.
do. Yeah. I
mean,
don't know.
Whatever. I'll be happy if it does. That
Oh, of course, I'd be happy
that
to be
JPEG
wrong.
logo looked really good. So.
I'd be happy to be wrong, but like I don't know. There's something about Hellblade just feels like it's gonna be in the works for a while.
Guys, Fire Emblem is in like 10 days or something. Dead Space is a week after that. January.
Dead Space.
On
Yeah.
its own. Dead Space
Oh, I'm
remake.
so
Oh my
excited for Dead
gosh.
Space.
I did
For
write down
those who
Switch stuff.
believe.
Fire Emblem, Zelda.
Uh,
There's a Pikmin game coming.
Pikmin
don't
4.
forget.
Yep.
Yeah.
He made a
Pikmin.
shirt.
Kirby.
It's been a long
Lot of
time
good stuff.
coming.
Kirby, man. Kirby had his game.
Hellblade,
These are
no.
games.
Final Fantasy
that I-
16? Nobody? Anyone?
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna say
God,
that.
Damn. Street Fighter
Not
6?
But that, so I
Street
was
Fighter
gonna
six,
say
yes.
there are games
Street
that I'm
Fighter,
probably not
mhm.
gonna buy like right away, but I think are notable: Suicide Squad, Street Fighter 6, Spider-Man 2. I don't know if anybody's gonna play Skull and Bones. I do expect to eventually release.
Nah,
but I'll
I'm
play.
I'm cool.
Armored Core, Hyper Light Breaker, The Day Before. There's a ton. 2023 is stacked. If half of it gets delayed, it's still stacked.
I know.
Like it's really there's a lot here to
it's
love.
too much.
It's a lot.
It
Yeah,
might be
it's-
too much.
I don't
It's
think it's
always
too
too
much. I
much.
think it's COVID.
It is always
It's
too much.
It's a backlog
Yeah.
meeting a current log, and we're bound to have a year
Too many
where
logs.
more things just start releasing.
Yeah, and
Like, they
also
just-
keep in mind, we still have E3 and whatever this Xbox showcase that keeps being rumored is, and
Hellblade. Count on it.
I wanna
Nintendo
2023.
turn
Direct
my
in
phone.
February.
Sean, I want you to be so right.
Hellblade's
I've never
happening.
wanted to
It's the holiday game.
Sean,
Hellblade
Sean,
is the game
Sean,
that I like. If I could will a game into existence, Hellblade's the game I
It's
want.
happening.
I would love for Hellblade to come out this year, but for Fantasy Critic wise, I need it not to come out this year.
Did you counterpick it?
I did counterpick it because I
Yeah,
didn't
that
think
was silly.
because I didn't think it's coming out this year.
Nah, that was silly. It's been. When did they reveal it? When did they? Was it
chose poorly.
2018, 2019?
It just
2017
fucking
probably.
Game's done. That game's
no,
done.
it's not done. It's
They're off to
literally-
Project
be
Mara.
out.
They're doing everything
If
else.
it was done, it'd be out.
That's for
exactly.
sure. Okay.
Well, obviously, you know what I mean. It's
It's not. I can tell you, it's not.
Before we move on to our final question, I do want to shout out because I like the subscription stuff. So for my PlayStation fans here, just disregard. Game Pass has a stellar lineup lined up already with Stalker 2, Routine, Atomic Heart, Planet of Lana, Redfall, Forza, Starfield, Minecraft Legends, and The Last Case of Benedict Fox, all slated for 2023, and we don't know what else could come.
Yeah.
Like those are all just already slated now. And that's a ton. I don't
Hellblade.
expect many, if any, of these to be delayed past 2023, to be honest with you. So that's a killer lineup if you're into Game Pass, or if you took a year off from Game Pass. It's understandable, but just know that games cometh. A lot of games cometh. So I'm very excited for those. And Sean, I know I'll just shout you. I know you're very excited for Starfield. So I'm hoping
I'm curious about it. I think I'm being quite realistic about it. I don't think it showed well. I actually expect it to be delayed a year. So this new rumor that it's going to be first part of 2023 is surprising to me.
I would be.
I just want to go to space, dude. I love space. I love sci-fi, Dev.
Okay.
As it turns
Sure,
out.
Sure,
Sure
buddy. Whatever you say.
Okay, so our last thing is, and this is to ask everybody, I think this will be a really fun exercise to revisit next year. What do you think your favorite game will be this time next year? So put it on the map. What do you think your favorite game will
I
be
love
for
this
this time
question.
next year? And then next year, when we do this again, I will bring this back up and we'll see if we were right or wrong. I think that's cool. So we don't have to guess. We're not trying to guess everything that's going to come out this year, but what do you think your favorite game will be this time next year?
Can I say
Alan.
two? Can I have two
I'm
that
fine
could
with
be a
that. I'm going
toss
to
up.
take notes. Let's do it.
I'm gonna say Diablo 4 or Forza Motorsport, the new one. I was gonna say a number, but it's the new one.
Alan Wake 2 or Diablo 4.
Diablo 4. I'm stoked, man. Oh my gosh.
I can give you mine, and I can guarantee you that it's not going to change. It's Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Nice.
I already know.
I think that's very fair. I feel like Rebecca. knows
Mine
hers as well.
also is 100% Tears of the Kingdom, not going to change. I will throw my Switch into the Delaware River if it is not Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh no.
That poor Delaware
That
River's
poor
getting
river.
a lot of stuff. A lot. I think that's probably very fair. Delvin?
If it comes out next year, well, this year, Spider-Man 2
Nice.
or
God, what a
Forspoken.
year. Are
that's-
you
that's a
kidding me right
definite.
now?
The game is definitely coming out this year.
Or what, Delvin?
Forspoken.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
It's
doing what
going
I
to be
play.
Spider-Man
Hey,
2.
well, no,
It's going to be Spider-Man 2.
We'll know how Delvin feels about Forspoken in like 3 weeks.
Probably.
Will
not.
we?
I was going to say Delvin's
He's
game
gonna
was going to be
done with
God of War when he finally beats it.
Yeah.
He'll finally be in 2023. His favorite game is God of War. Looking at my list,
It's a long list. He's got to keep looking and scrolling.
it's a lot. And I'm also trying to, I really want to say Hellblade, but I just don't think it's going to be there. I'm going to say replace. I'm really struggling with this because there's one that I really want to say. I just don't know.
Shout
All
out to that Ubisoft Star Wars game that we don't know the name of that's supposed to come out this year.
Oh yeah, the one by Massive, the Division
Massive.
studio. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, I'm going to change my answer real quick. I'm going to do one on the fly here. I'm probably just going to be wrong, and that's fine. I'm going to say Assassin's Creed Mirage or Resident Evil
Nice.
4 Remake.
Ooh.
I haven't played Resident Evil 4 completely
Ooh.
since the Wii,
It's a good game.
and I loved it when it came out, and I think the Resident Evil 4 Remake should be really good. Way better than the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, in my opinion. Resident Evil 4 should be excellent, so we'll see. What's so funny?
Just Joe's in the chat. Just
Yeah.
causing
Joe's doing
ruckus.
Joe things. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed our 2022 gaming yearbook. Again, one more time, I'll apologize for being late. Every year we want to get this out for Christmas, and we were just late this year, so that's on me. But I had a lot of fun recording with everybody, and hopefully next year we can do it again. Hopefully next year we have more people. We were supposed to have more people for the first
More?
show, but because of the schedule, yes, more.
Yeah, we were supposed to have
all of
Garrett
PSVG.
and Kyle and
Everybody's
Josh.
supposed to be here.
Chaos.
Yes, chaos. That's what it's supposed to be. Chaos. So next year we'll have fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And as always, thank you for listening. And we look forward to getting back on our normal schedule beginning next week. So normally I would wish you all a very happy and safe Christmas, but at that point it's over. We're past that point. So I hope 2023 has been off to a great start for all of you. And yeah, we'll catch you next week. Good night, Koopalings.